It's not available in all states.
Thai police investigating whether a school bus fire that killed 23 young students and teachers in suburban Bangkok was caused by negligence after filing initial charges against the bus driver.
Family members of those presumed dead arrived to give samples of DNA to cross-check with that of the deceased. Police Captain Supakon Bunchong Pokyang says the authorities were doing all they could to help.
We were working all night, so we're rushing to be able to return all the child back to the families.
6 teachers and 39 students were aboard the bus when it caught fire, with 23 victims in all. Meanwhile, police have arrested the bus driver, who, after he'd pulled over, had run off. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
An unexploded American World War II bomb, it was buried at a Japanese airport, has exploded. Big crater left in a taxiway, many flights canceled, but no injuries. News and analysis at townhall.com. Big oil spells a big investment for one small South American country.
Officials say France's Total Energies and U.S. hydrocarbon company APA Corporation plan to invest $10 billion to extract oil off the coast of Suriname. Total Energies says it expects first oil by mid-2028 with an anticipated production of 220,000 barrels a day. The so-called Grand Morgu project focuses on an offshore area believed to contain some 700 million barrels of oil. It's the largest investment in Suriname's history. Bob Agnew reporting.
Walmart employees and their dependents are being offered expanded cancer treatment with Mayo Clinic doctors through the retailer's insurance plan. The nation's largest private employer says it covered employees diagnosed with most types of cancer will be able to get a second opinion from the Mayo Clinic, and then they'll be able to travel to the clinic for treatment if need be. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
Morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy middle of the week, everybody.
Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, but I feel like we've already had a whole week's worth of stuff already.
Yes, we have.
I know, it's just so busy.
It's not stopped because, it was all of Saturday with Red Dirt, Black Gold, and everything. Mm-hmm. I barely started to kind of recover on Sunday, and then it's back at it on Monday. We got football coming up on Friday. We're into day 3 of the Eastern New Mexico State Fair,
right.
And today is Senior Day.
3 to 6 p.m. How that's working, folks, is from 3 to 6 p.m. Mm-hmm. They're letting seniors in for free.
55 and up.
Yes.
You on your way.
I'm not far. I'm 4 years.
Oh, you on your way to free Senior Day?
Just a few years away. Yes.
But I'm pretty close myself.
I'll say, yeah, because I'm there. I'll be like, hey, come on over.
Be there in a minute.
Have you got AARP stuff yet?
Not
in the
yet.
mail.
No, not yet.
It's coming.
Thankfully.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
Anyway,
they always reach out through snail mail because they know that's how olds get their information.
Right next to our Publishers Clearinghouse entry, and that thing from some charity group with all your those little name tag things for envelopes. You know, like your self-addressed stamp envelope sticker.
The SASE.
Yeah.
That joke will never work on kids ever again.
No.
The whole, but I might already be a millionaire.
That's right.
They don't understand it.
I guess they still come in the mail. I mean, Postage Bureau's still a thing. I still see commercials, but I don't know if you enter like you did before. Because you have to buy magazines and stuff,
back
right?
in the day, remember, this was, okay, kids, it's time for Nostalgia Corner with Sean and Mike.
Because I remember they sell magazines, if I remember it right.
They did.
Yeah.
It was, but what it was them, BMG, and like the Music Clearinghouse and all that.
Yeah.
They had the same system. You would go through and you tear off these little stamps. And they had the little picture of the magazine and then the code, and you would put those stamps into an envelope, and that was your subscription. You're like, I want this one and this one and that one, and you put them in an envelope and you mailed it, and that's how you got your subscriptions.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like through my youth, there were periods of time where I had like a year subscription to this, and I think my mom through publisher. So I think I got like Road and Track for a year.
Right.
I got Boy's Life for a couple years, Guns and Ammo.
I don't know that my mom was subscribing to magazine subscriptions, but I do, however, know that they just showed up at our house.
Yeah.
Like without our names on them, it was just like we would just get Good Housekeeping.
Yeah.
Or Redbook.
Yeah.
Had
And
a lot of those.
Of course, my dad would get the Playboys for a couple years, and you knew exactly when those come in. I mean, come on, it was
12:58 a.m. on the second Tuesday.
Well, no,
of the
it was
month.
right in the mail, but the magazine was in this black shrink wrap that you couldn't open and everything else. You knew dang well what was in that thing. Come on.
It's discreet packaging.
Yeah, right. In the mailman's, every mail person's like, I know what this guy's getting.
That's what's funny is for the whole like generation of people who are like, well, it comes in discreet packaging. It's a
Right.
black bag.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that nothing good comes in a black bag.
Only one thing goes in there.
Right.
And it ain't your brownie recipe.
That's right. Unless, of course, that brownie recipe is special.
Right.
And stuff that in the black bag.
Exactly. Too. So.
No good comes from a black bag.
Did
I want
you
that on a t-shirt.
catch any of the debate, the vice presidential debate last night?
I did.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, it was. I think that some of the commentators said it best. It was a very down the middle. A lot of good points were made on both sides, and thusly, it was really boring.
To be honest, this is what this is what it. And here's the thing, I have the same take, but different.
Okay.
Like I watch that debate right now, and I regardless of what you feel about either presidential candidate. Because all of us have thoughts on either one.
Sure.
I came across last night thinking, regardless of what happens in November, the adult in the room is number 2, not number 1.
I know.
That's my.
That was
regardless of what you
amazing.
think, I'm like the adult in the room's the number 2, not
Although
the number
I
1.
do have to say, I need tips from JD Vance on how to obtain that perfect smoky eye.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you noticed his eyeliner game, his guy liner game was on point.
He's got a dreamy quality to him.
a
I'll
bit
give
of a
him that.
manscaper. I could tell.
Like you can tell, like.
Although it did lend to his villain qualities when he was looking over in the camera and you just see like the smoky eye on the side and
Like-
you just have the scowl.
Like I will tell you this: if he was the Democratic candidate, they are looking at him in like GQ and all that stuff. I'm telling you right now, if he was the Democrat candidate, he'd be all over those things. Oh, let me turn your mic on. There.
He was a bit like Jim from The Office, kind of just like smirking at the camera a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're polished and you know they both. Tim came off like the dad type. I think he did a good job portraying his message.
I
think.
love when somebody says
JD?
alls
Yeah.
instead of all.
Well, see, now I'm confused. I'm like, was it Waltz to begin with, and now what is his name?
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like when somebody's like, all's you got to do.
Oh, alls.
Like it's he's got a very down homey way of talking.
Sure, absolutely.
That just like sort of it.
But
it
at the same
simplifies.
time, I think J.D. Vance came across as a pretty warm and affable
Sure.
dude, too. That's what I'm saying. I felt like the two adults in the room were the vice presidential candidates, not the presidential candidates.
And there was a supercut of all of the I agree with JD, I agree with Tim.
There was a lot of, I don't know if compromise is the right word, but yes, at least adults, and that's how politics should be. I'm sorry. This is how you
I was going to say, this is Mike's dream debate here.
Well, be honest, this is how it's supposed to be. You're talking
no
policy.
viciousness, no.
Well, it's not even I don't mind viciousness. I just don't want people deciding who our president is going to be based on, like, sneakers or who sounds cooler to me. I mean, that's That's the part, and
Or high
unfortunately, I
heels.
feel like that's everyone, because everyone who hates our president or choices, you're like, well, it's because they do this. And I'm like, I've never heard to say, well, I don't like, and when they say policy stuff, it's very broad, and it's the same crap that gets parroted on social media by every pundit head out there.
Right.
And they regurgitate them talking points. I'm like, no, that's not how this should be. Last night is way more than how it should be. It should be two grown people talking about issues and policies and the differences, and let people decide whether that's the policies they like or that's the policies they don't like.
And this was the most policy that's been presented on both sides this whole election.
So I don't know if it moved the needle on people voting one way or another, but at least last night's debate was a debate about things related to making things better instead of I had more people at my rally than you had at your rally, and you this and that and all this other stupidness that 7-year-olds do.
It's going to be kind of depressing because they didn't really give SNL any good stuff to go off of.
Oh, I'm sure they'll find stuff
for this weekend. So,
but SNL does need a lot of help. Give them credit. They
here
need
lately.
Yeah. Well, I noticed also, like, that being said, Walsh was even, like, impressed with the other guy, too. He was, like nodding with everything he was saying.
They shook hands before and after.
He looked like he was going to vote for the other guy.
I hate to tell you guys, but this is how politics used to be. Yeah, they'll say some stuff and, get the sound bites here and there. But at the end of the day, they're all in the same poker room, smoking cigars and wheeling and dealing.
You're going to see all of them at Tavern on the Green later having scotch,
Yeah, that's what people don't realize. And now we've gotten to the world where because of social media and because of the way people talk, I'm sure that still goes on in some cases, but now it's much more visceral because people will now, based on whether they like you or not, or give your whole opinion on you based on a vote you had.
Yeah.
And that's the world we live in now because some people are so just visceral one side or the other. It's either you're with me or you're not on my side, and there's a lot of gray in between there, and that's all I'm saying.
And I like to focus on the grays between.
Yeah.
It's the grays between. And speaking of the grays between, Senior Day at the Eastern New Mexico State Fair.
Oh yeah, I got to start to talk about that, and so here's how it's going to work today. Yeah, I thought
you were going to lead into Oreos.
So I got we got Oreos to eat.
We
too.
do.
That's white between, not gray between.
Unless it's a different flavor Oreo. I've seen like pink in there. But anyway, so Senior Day today is from 3 to 6, and it is free for seniors to get in. What you can do is at the front gate from 3 to 6, they're going to have golf carts available to take seniors to and from the education building.
Right.
And that's where a lot of the Senior Day stuff for free swag, the Historical Society, they'll be doing all that stuff. Now, 3 to 6, you get in free. Everything really opens up at 4, kind of out there. But like, I get there at 3, you can do the educational building, do some of that stuff. And then 4 o'clock, like the commercial building opens up at that point.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock, correct. At 4 o'clock, the commercial building will open up. I believe the rides start opening up around that time. And a lot of the other fair things start opening their doors up about 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, but 3 o'clock you can start getting in. They'll start doing the carts from 3 to 6. But at 4 o'clock is when everything really opens, with the exception of the education building, livestock shows. They're all going to be going on at 3 o'clock.
Yep.
But so if you want to get there early and do some of that stuff, and then by 4 o'clock you can go and hit the commercial building, and if there's a ride or a few events you want to make sure, shows or concerts you want to check out, then you can go do that afterwards. So.
Yes, sir.
But if you get in between 3 and 6, and like I said, they'll get you the cart to get you there if you need assistance on that. If you're not, you do you. Hoof it up there. But if you do need help, they got folks that can help you do that. So.
Yes, indeed.
And big thank you to NMMI for providing those here, and the Historical Society. They're the ones sponsoring everything with today's Senior Day and that happened.
That's right. At the front gate, here's what they'll do is they'll ask you who your favorite sitcom actor is, and if you answer Andy Griffith or Dick Van Dyke, you're in.
Now you got to remember it's 55 and up.
Yeah, that's true. You could be like Harvey Keitel. You could reach to the Fonz.
I hate to tell you this, but an acceptable answer would also be Albert Brooks.
Oh, yeah,
and he's more 80s.
Yeah, 70s. that is painful.
But in this day and age, I'm 51.
You could have gone
Albert Brooks is an acceptable answer.
Like Mr. Drummond or something, and been like, that's still accurate.
George Carlin.
Shoot, at this point, you could have said Bob Saget.
Yeah.
And still been pretty close.
I mean, if you're saying I mean, if you're going down the rabbit hole of Cousin Brucey or something, then we're definitely letting you in. But I mean, because you're old school.
If you remember and this is a real old game, but the original Leisure Suit Larry.
Oh, I do remember that.
The way that they kept you out of the game if you were under 18 was they would ask you questions that only somebody over the age of 18 would know.
Right.
And not like dirty questions, but like, who was Spiro Agnew?
Right. Or there was even stuff like name a cast member of Barney Miller.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how they kept you out of the dirty game. She's like, God, dang it! I got to go look that up.
Yeah.
But
and especially the very, very first Leisure Suit Larry. You peel back the
where
curtain
you typed
on that.
in commands. Yeah.
But you peel back the curtain, and yes, it was adult themed. But in the lexicon of today,
pretty tame.
Pretty PG.
Pretty tame. Honestly, very tame. Outside of a few of the racial epithets, very tame.
Now, as Leisure Suit Larry, the universe got bigger, so to speak. It got a little more risque, a little bit more, and obviously the graphics and the gameplay got bigger and better.
Once they brought 3D into it, was all bets were off.
But I'm pretty sure the original Leisure Suit Larry, you could probably defeat that game in about 2 hours now if you know the commands and everything, because it's pretty basic.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I spent several months working through the first couple of couple of stages of that game.
I weirdly now, I guess I got to go find it. I'm sure it's online. You can go find it and download and play it somewhere on the cheap or
it's
free.
Like 2 kilobytes.
I got to go find it because I play old school games like XCOM. Not even the reboots they've done in the 2000s.
You could probably upload Leisure Suit Larry onto your smartwatch.
I still like to play XCOM with the 8 floppy disks and all that still every once in a while. I have it because I downloaded
disc
it.
2.
Yeah, I don't have to do that anymore, but I did find it online and download it.
Actually, the first 2 or 3 were like boot discs, and then the fourth was like the game on.
Yeah. After you initially install the game, the first couple discs you never see again unless you have to reinstall it.
Right.
But anyway, let me give you the rundown. We got a full slate for you today. Our guests are actually waiting patiently in the other room here. We're going to start things off this hour with the folks from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce. Andrea and I believe Gary's here as well to give us an update on events and things happening through the chamber. In the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Lauren Newman's going to join us with the Roswell Refuge. Of course, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Yep. They've got their Remember My Name vigil coming up and of course, raising awareness for, victims of domestic violence and, stomping out domestic violence. So we'll get an update from Lauren in the 9 o'clock hour. And then Mary Gonzalez is going to join us in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15. Wife of Johnny Gonzalez. Of course, Johnny, who passed away several years ago, he was a staple on this show, doing his Thanksgiving dinners and Christmas dinners and back-to-school drives. Well, Mary's keeping that tradition going after her husband passed, and she's been collecting school supplies and things. So she wants to come on and get folks to help out with that, with her back-to-school drive she's got going on.
Excellent.
So she'll join us about 9:15.
Very good.
Plus, we'll have all of your newses of the local and the national variety, Wall Street business updates. We got to eat some Oreos and Coca-Cola. We got Oreo flavored Coca-Cola and Coke flavored Oreos. We got to try. So we're gonna do that this show some point or another. So we're gonna do that. So and then whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Strong high pressure in place over the southwestern states, and it looks like that'll be hanging around for a while. The jet stream pattern is way off to the north, so we won't see any big changes around here. Upper 80s for the high today, and we get sunshine. The wind will stay fairly light, though. Clear and mid-50s for the overnight hours, and then we're in the low 90s for the high on Thursday, and sunny upper 80s Friday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 53 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 43%. Winds currently out of the south at 3 miles per hour. Sunny. Expect a high of 89 today, so tickling 90, but technically not going to 90. I'm sure it'll be 90. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, mostly clear. Overnight low of 55 degrees. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, Thursday, sunny, 94 for a high with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear tomorrow night with an overnight low of 57 degrees. Southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Don't forget, Artesia Bulldogs play on Thursday night tomorrow night. They are traveling to, is it Santee? Sorry, I just blanked on where they're going, but I think it's Santee. But we'll have that game for you, 9:90 a.m. KSVP. That's our Artesia station, and KSVPTV.com for video on that. But it is tomorrow night. So if you're like, well, you go see a Bulldog game on Friday, and like, hey, what happened? It's on Thursday. So just so you know. Goddard and Roswell will be on Friday, but Artesia does play tomorrow night. So anyway, for you Friday, sunny, 89 for a high, north winds at around 5 miles per hour. And then for the weekend, sunny and 91 for Saturday. So pretty nice day for the final day of the fair. And then sunny and 90 for Sunday. So we're just going to be kind of lingering around 90, although tomorrow looks like it's going to be a little warmer, mid-90s, 94 tomorrow. So, but other than that, pretty much 90 for the rest of the week here. Hey, before we take our break and talk to the folks from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, just wanted to throw a shout out to one Greg Birch. He's of course, friend of the show. Resident artist. We'll go with that. Resident artist of the show. Amazing guy. We've had him on a bunch of times. But keep him and his family in your thoughts and prayers today. He's got a medical procedure that's kind of a big deal today. And hopefully life is going to be much better for him after this surgery. But it's a pretty big deal. So thoughts and prayers out to Greg. And if, Greg, you're listening right now before they I don't know what time you got to do your thing today, but if you're listening, we're praying for you. And we can't wait to have you back in here and telling us about your next project and all that good stuff. But we're praying for you, buddy. He's got a big day today. So thoughts and prayers to Greg Birch. All right, it is 7:24. Let's pause for 3 minutes, and then we'll talk with Andrea and Gary from the Roswell Chamber on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Ballard Funeral Home and Crematory and LaGrone Funeral Chapel have been celebrating life for over 90 years. Ballard Funeral Home and Crematory celebrates and remembers. Vera Main Taramina passed away on September 21st. Rosary will be Friday, October 4th, 9:30 a.m. at St. Peter's Catholic Church, with Mass following the Rosary at 10 a.m. and to be placed in St. Peter's Columbrium following Mass. Donald Burden passed away September 14th. Rosary will be Saturday, October 5th, 9:30 a.m. at St. Peter's Catholic Church, with Mass following the Rosary at 10 a.m. and to be placed in St. Peter's Columbrium. Ben Smith passed away September 24th. Service will be Saturday, October 5th, 10 a.m. at Grace Community Church. James Seeley passed away September 28th, and services are pending at this time. There are no services scheduled at this time at LaGrone Funeral Chapel. This has been today's Remembrance, brought to you by Ballard Funeral Home and Crematory and LaGrone Funeral Chapel.
Coming to the Liberty on Sunday, October 6th. Don't miss an evening with Mo Bandy.
But other than that, we ain't nothing, just good old boys.
Doors open at 6 and the show starts at 8. Tickets are on sale now at thelibertyinc.com. Get yours before they're gone.
I get honky-tonk amnesia.
Don't miss an evening with Mo Bandy. Sunday, October 6th at the Liberty, 312 North Virginia in Roswell. This is a 21 and up event. The perfect pair of glasses is a lot closer than you think. The Eyesight in Roswell, Carlsbad, and Hobbs is now accepting new patients 5 and up. The Eyesight accepts all VSP vision plans for full contact lens and glasses, as well as Medicare, Davis, and more. Designer frames from Maui Gyms, Oakley, and so much more. The Eyesight in Roswell, Carlsbad, and Hobbs offers complete eye care, including pre- and post-cataract and LASIK, as well as glaucoma testing. The perfect pair is waiting for you at the Eyesight in Roswell, Carlsbad, or Hobbs. Clearly the best in sight.
When seconds matter and your family's in danger, who do you count on? Law enforcement and brave first responders. What if I told you that Congressman Gabe Vasquez has voted to defund the police, to stop the hiring of new Border Patrol agents, and reduce the sentences for dangerous criminals? This is Sheriff Mark Cage, and I am tired of people like Gabe Vasquez lying to us. Gabe talks a big game here in New Mexico, but his actions in Washington tell a very different story. We need a leader like Yvette Harrell in Congress. That's why law enforcement stands with her. Yvette is endorsed by the New Mexico Sheriff's Association, Albuquerque Police Officers Association, and the Border Patrol Union. It takes courage to stand up for what is right, and Gabe Vasquez doesn't have it. And when minutes matter and your life's on the line, Gabe Vasquez won't support those who answer the call, like me or my deputies. Stand with law enforcement and vote with me for Yvette Harrell.
I'm Yvette Harrell, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Yvette Harrell for Congress.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. More than 50% of Americans fall asleep on their sides. That's way better than falling asleep on someone else's side. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 28 minutes after 7 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, Andrea Moore and Gary Thrine back with us. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's life in your worlds this morning?
It's going. It's been a long weekend. It'll be a long week, but that's okay because we've got Fair Week, so there's all kinds of fun stuff going on.
I know. I bet you guys have spent quite a few hours out at the fairgrounds.
I always do.
Well, see, Andrea's...
I camp out there.
She's got multiple hats, and so she's with other organizations and stuff out there, too. But
yes.
But Gary, have you had a chance to walk around and do some...
Not yet.
Okay.
We had a ribbon cutting yesterday.
He's busy jobbing.
So, right,
I was like, I got to go play. Got to go. And he's like, got this.
I got this. But, yes, we had the Frost Giant Games and Lanes, their one-year anniversary celebration yesterday.
Yeah, come in there.
And had a great ribbon cutting, great turnout.
If you're a game person, into whether it's tabletop games or Dungeons and Dragons and stuff or anything, and you're not aware of those guys, then I don't know how you missed their radar, because that's your Shangri-La right there.
They're like right there at the corner of Walnut and Main. And so
downtown here.
And I had been in there a few weeks ago and just to touch base with them and say hello and check things out. And when we went in yesterday, they had totally reorganized and so changed everything all around. It's really nice.
I highly recommend if you're, because families like to have like game nights or family activity days or something. If you're looking for games and things to create those experiences, there you go. Go right down to the Frost Games and like I said, if you want to get into the D&D, they got you covered. But if you're just looking for family tabletop
it's so
games,
much more than that.
Yeah, they got all that.
We had a game shop years ago on Main Street, and they're similar but way better.
It's kind of steroided up a little bit, I guess you could say.
And everybody over there is very knowledgeable on all of the games that they provide. And if there's something you're interested about, go talk to them, and they'd love to help you.
And if I remember right, the owners themselves are actual game creators. Like they make and create their own games and things like that, and have... So you find games there, too, that you probably will not find anywhere else on the planet. So
correct.
So it's really a cool, unique store. So I invite everybody to go check it out. If you like having fun, go in there and check it out. And I'm pretty sure every human being likes to have fun.
Who doesn't?
You go find a way to have fun.
That's right. And they will definitely find something that is up your alley for sure, because there's, if you're not in, like you said, if you're not into Dungeons and Dragons, okay, that's fine. Here's something else.
There's a whole 7 other things that they got that you probably might be interested in. So, go check them out. But they had their 1-year anniversary just this week here. And,
absolutely,
the Redcoats came
yesterday
out.
was the one-year anniversary, and so they are...
Congratulations, 1 year in Roswell, and one of many, hopefully. Here.
Yes.
We hope so.
Many more years to come.
Good deal. What else we got?
And coming up, starting next week, Tuesday, October 8th, we have a Lunch and Learn.
Yeah, first one in a while.
Yes, I'm so excited. It is $10 for our members. It is $20 for our non-members. And we have Spencer Theater coming in. They want to discuss the new season. Okay. They've got some really cool shows for everybody from ages 1 to 101.
Yep.
So if there's, of course, we've got Nutcracker that always happens around Christmas time, which I've taken my kids.
The play, not the actual Nutcracker. The
Correct.
play is the Nutcracker. In case you're like, they're giving out Nutcrackers? No, the play.
And, that's put on by their local dance studio in Rio Doso, and it's always a fantastic show. And then, of course, that's just one of about 10, 15 different shows. They've got a magic show. They've got comedians coming in. They have one this spring. It's called Illuminate, where it's the people in their black clothes that have the glow-in-the-dark sticks on them that dance and do stuff, and that looks really cool. Yeah. I'm excited. I think I want to go to that.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. Like, they get all kinds of, and then they get big-time concerts in there, too, and everything else. And if you've never seen a show in that facility, it's a beautiful...
And they do much more than just have shows. You can host your own event there. They do tours. There's a lot. So they have a new marketing director, and she wants to come down and explain all of the things that the Spencer Theater offers in addition to going and seeing a show.
Yeah,
and that's on Tuesday.
I kind of have a bit of an inside game on Spencer stuff. My father-in-law serves on the board there. Like, if you've ever been to Spencer, like, if you ever been to Spencer Theater and you go upstairs and you'll see, and actually, if in case you did not know, Jackie Spencer is buried in that building.
Wow, I did not know that.
Her crypt is in the Spencer Theater. If you go up on the second floor, there's a big picture of Jackie Spencer up there, and then on the other, and behind that picture is her crypt or whatever you want to call that.
Wow.
And then to either side of her are the portraits of the board of directors, the people that on the board. And if you look, one of those guys on the left side of her is my father-in-law.
That's awesome.
So he's I've been to many Spencer events, and they do like fancy dinners and things. Like they'll when they have some of their big shows, they do a package deal where you go up and they'll do like steak and lobster dinners, and then you go down and enjoy the show afterwards.
Yep, and they typically have what's called the Foundry Room, which is more of a sit-down dinner, and then they have a buffet. So of course, there's a couple of kids shows that'll be coming out this spring. Well, of course, what do you think the buffet dinner is? It's chicken nuggets and French fries. And, so they cater to who...
Yeah, the show that night.
Yeah.
If it's a kid's show, obviously they're not doing lobster and steak, and they're doing pizza and chicken tenders and things. But
it's, dinner and a show.
And it's such a beautiful facility. I think every New Mexican should at least go experience something in there because...
I agree.
It is such... I mean... I just know the dollars involved in that place, and just to give you that big red Christmas tree glass statue in the foyer of that, you can fund several years' budget of many, many arts councils.
Yes.
That thing's worth $1 million just by itself. And that was years ago. It's probably worth the matching red light sconces that are all over that theater. $40,000 a piece.
Oh, yeah. Well, because it's all hand blown.
Yeah, it's
I have
beautiful
a friend
in there.
from high school that blows glass in Colorado, and he was telling me, because I was like, oh, come on. There's no reason why glass needs to be expensive. And he actually gave us a tour once of his little studio, and he goes, this is why things cost what they cost.
Yeah.
And can you blow glass? And I was like, you're fair. I cannot.
If you've never walked through that building, it's just a beautiful facility. Now, unfortunately, some of the storms, like even before the stuff, last year, they had some flooding and some wind damage, and it really messed up that vestibule. And unfortunately, see, this is how life is life even in rich people's world is just a life in your world. Right. They had contractor issues, getting out on them, doing all that kind of stuff, and it was a nightmare. I think they're just now getting it
Because I was going to say, I know that they've done some remodeling, and some of it was because they had to, and some of it was, well, it's COVID. We're not doing anything else. It's just time.
But storm damage impacted some of that. But so I because of what my father-in-law does, I get a little bit of that inside baseball.
Cool.
But
now I know who to call to give a little. Hey, I think you should do these shows. Hey, see if we can get this in.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful thing. So next that's next
Tuesday the 8th. Lunch starts at 11:30, and then we'll start the program promptly at noon, so we can have everybody back in their office by 1.
Excellent.
Call the office if you want to register, or you can register online at roswellnm.org. But like I said, if you just want to call us, I am happy, and Gary's happy to just take your information over the phone.
We'll get you a spot, and then just come on down.
Yeah.
Don't forget about the free ticket.
And they're going to be giving away some free tickets.
Oh,
as
excellent.
well. So
now you don't even have to pay. We give you an excuse to go in there.
So for $10, you might get a free show.
Yeah, and you can turn it into a weekend in Redoso.
There you go.
And do a whole thing with it.
That's right.
Plan a whole weekend out of it.
Absolutely.
But you won't know if you don't show.
That's right.
Right. So it's next Tuesday again. Call or come by the chamber, RSVP here. $10 for members, $20 for non-members.
And I really do need RSVPs because I just need to know how much food to order.
Yep.
Because we're not going to have just sandwiches. It'll be a nice lunch, a nice filling lunch for you to get to eat, and then get some information.
Fork and knife in it.
Absolutely.
You can go back to work with a food coma.
That's right. Well, it won't be quite that heavy, but we're definitely going to feed you pretty well.
All right, let's start the program. Everyone's...
And then the following week, Thursday, October 17th, we have rescheduled our Lunch and Learn with Rosie Rubio and Sari Consulting, and she's going to be doing her leadership skills.
So if you already RSVP'd for that, that's your make good date. If you didn't get a chance to RSVP the first time, well, you got a stay
That's right.
here. You got an additional opportunity to get in. Again, call the chamber or come by the chamber, RSVP. Cost is $10 members, $20 just like the other one. But it'll be that Thursday, October 17th.
And everything's on our Facebook. Everything is on our website. Like I said, call us, register online, but come on in because both events are going to be great.
And her Lunch and Learn will focus on personalities and kind of dealing with your coworkers and kind of understanding how to mesh all the personalities together to get everyone going rowing in the same direction. So
team building and enhancement training. She's going to go over a lot of the DISC personality traits. And why do you just naturally gravitate to somebody and not somebody else? Well, she's going to go over all of that. And, of course, conflict resolution comes into all of that because don't we all need some skills?
So you probably end up learning a little bit about yourself at this event, too. Be like, I didn't realize this is what I do. And because you're going to plug in what they're going to tell you, and she's going to give you some information like, yep, I do that.
And lunches, whenever we provide lunches, I try to provide something you don't normally get out in town, even if you're going to go have lunch.
So crickets. It's going to be crickets for lunch. I'm just kidding.
Chocolate-covered ants on a log. No. But so we try to, and of course we always use our local members when we cater.
Our chamber. That's what, by the way, if you become a chamber member, we might hit you up from time to time. Say, hey, we got an event. Would you like to help us out with?
Oh, absolutely. And our members, always step up when we have asked them. And just as a real quick aside,
we pay you. Don't get worried. I mean, it's not like you got to do it for free,
Well, sometimes.
Yeah, it depends on the thing.
Sometimes I'm like, hey, do you want to put in your logo?
Yeah.
And you want to, and they're like, I can't tell you how many times people are like, oh, you're going to let me do that thing for free and I can put my huge logo in the middle of it? Yeah. I don't care.
Yeah. We're barters.
That's right.
We'll work. We'll do old school. We'll go and we'll do some. Let's do some swapping and bartering and talking.
Absolutely.
And that's how business has been done for thousands of years.
And you were talking earlier that you've got Coca-Cola flavored Oreos and Oreo flavored Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Well, just so you know, today is National Homemade Cookie Day.
Ooh.
So.
We'll tie it in. Although we did not make these cookies.
No, somebody did.
Somebody in some factory did somewhere. But
there you go.
But that's a good thing because I do. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of Oreos. I will tear up you put a sleeve of Oreos in front of me and leave me unpaying attention. That sleeve disappears.
Oh yeah.
That being said, there is no homemade cookie on the planet that I'm going to have Oreos pick over.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? There's not a homemade cookie. I'm like, I'd rather have the Oreo. Now, okay, there's a few bakers out there that's an exception to the rule, but people that know what they're doing and making cookies.
Oh, absolutely.
Like if someone's like, I bake cookies, I'm like, yeah, those aren't cookies.
Yeah. Well, and I just also got a text from my wonderful children that 30 days, we're about 30 days out from Christmas.
Oh, don't rhyme.
Because God
already?
bless my children.
30.
Which means, there's a whole thing. I have teenagers. We're not there at the 30-day mark yet.
It's October, right?
I know, but
I'm not a math wizard.
My kids are way over the top for Christmas. It's getting to be Christmas season, so we're getting the countdown, and then we get the countdown to the countdown, and then we get the countdown. So it is hilarious. So for the next, 60 days or whatever it is till Christmas, I will be getting updates, which also comes with, hey, Mom, this is what we want for Christmas. And now that I have teenagers, it's not the inexpensive items.
Right.
I get the Christmas list that has 2 things on there, and they're like, this is what I want.
Ah, very specific.
Wait till you become a grandma.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's different. That's more fun. When you have children, you've got to kind of try to, reel them in.
Well, and I know kids, particularly when they want something specific, they're going to be very detail-oriented.
Yes.
And so it's kind of like dads and tools. Because it'd be like, if they request the tool, it's going to be, I need the 610 5000 with the action kung fu grip and the pneumatic press thing.
That's right.
And you're like, you want to drill, right?
No. It's this particular drill.
And the kids are the
not
same
a
way.
drill. Yeah.
You know, I want the Xbox with the 6 gig and the.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have girls.
I like, what's the one you
So-
just plug the thing in and push the button to turn
Yeah.
on? Which
So
one's
I
that?
have girls, so it tends to be a little bit more expensive.
Gotcha.
My son tends to be more realistic, like things that can help him with his school career or his career. My
Yeah.
girls are definitely girly girls, so
Sure. Well, then, and at the end of the day, and I don't want to get in debates on, this and that, but guys think and want things a certain way generally, and women think in certain. It's just nature.
we're
and that's
different
what
for
it
a
is.
reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's funny to see the girls versus the boy and how their minds work. And
Well,
raise them
guys
just for
generally, I
fun.
think we're path of least resistance. How do we get the most out of getting from point A to point B and doing everything we need to do there to get that done?
Oh, yes.
Where I think the women's brain gets more into, we'll get to A and B, but I want the experience. I want
But I
to make
want
sure we
C,
have
D,
this part.
E, F, 1, 2, 3, and then I'll loop back around.
And the guy's brain is like, I want to get there, and then we'll worry about having fun later. You know what I mean? That's kind of
100%.
and so they, and so that's at the end of the day, that's the big, life thing. It's like, okay, if you understand they're trying to do this and they're trying to do this, figure out a way to come on, and you know what, everything else works the way out.
So, and then, we've got Lunar Cow should be calling people around town. They are calling on behalf of the chamber. They are not calling as the chamber, but on behalf of us. We are getting ready to do a brand new map. The last time the chamber did a map was like 1819. Yes. Just right before COVID.
Oh,
obviously.
I thought you were saying the year 1819. I was like, wow, it's been a while.
2019.
Yeah, 1819. So about 200 about 200 years ago, we did a map.
Yeah,
Things have
before
changed.
the Civil War.
Things have changed just slightly in 200 years.
Yeah.
But about 2018, 2019 was the last time the map came out. Obviously, things have changed since COVID. We've added some streets, some things have changed.
Well,
and then our advertisers have obviously changed.
And in all fairness, this map is night and day different than that map.
Yes.
And what I mean, and I'm not even talking about businesses and located. I'm talking about, it's like saying, hey, navigate your ship with this sextant, or let's navigate this ship with a radar system.
Yes,
That's
100%.
the difference. That's the difference we're talking about
And
here.
not only are we doing a paper map, because there is nostalgia and there are people that just want that paper map.
Sure.
But there is a digital version, and if you are an advertiser on the paper map, you will automatically be an advertiser on the digital map. But you don't have to be on the paper map. You can just do the digital map, and the digital map's going to be fantastic. The graphics are wonderful, so you can really see where you're at, where you're going. And as the chamber, it helps us be able to plan itineraries for our tourists that come in. Because I can't tell you how many times people come in and they say, okay, we're here for a day or we're here for 3 days. Here are the 5 things that we're really interested in. Well, now we'll have a platform that we can actually pull up and say, here, if you go in this order, you can get everything done.
Plus, you can use it. It's got tools to like if you want to, like you're a mom and pop small business, and this thing has tools to market and do that kind of stuff. Where like you're talking about these sales and things like that, you can use this application to kind of set those kinds of things up. Again, another advantage for our chamber members.
Correct.
To allow them to get
you can
their marketing
change your
and stuff.
digital advertisement as often as you want. Lunar Cow will do it for you at no cost to you once you have paid for the advertising.
So if they do come into your business, hear them out and hear what they have to say.
Right.
It just
And
might help you out a
remember,
little bit here.
we have the air races coming next year. So there are going to be tens of thousands of these maps and digital maps going all over the place as these new people are coming to our community to know what's going on.
And it starts in May. Like they're gonna like like
the qualifying.
Yeah, we're gonna have a fleet of people coming in town late spring, early summer here to qualify to get their licenses because it's a new course.
So
every single
everybody's gotta
competitor
come.
has to go and race on this thing and get familiar and get certified on it. and there's hundreds of pilots and hundreds. So it's going to be the Reno Air Races without the competition of the Reno Air Races. It's going to be all the people, everything here, practicing, getting the lay of the land, getting their logistics and getting settled into their new home here. And then come fall, September timeframe, then it's game on, fire up the engines, and it's nose racing out there.
That's right.
But,
so, like I said, this map is going to be really good for all of this because you, as an advertiser, will be able to get your information out. And like I said, on the digital side, you can change that as much as you want. So if you are a mom and pop place and you're like, okay, I've got this widget that I need to get rid of, call and Lunar Cow is awesome. They will be able to contact Lunar Cow, they'll get it changed, and you're good to go.
Yeah, it's just rudimentarily, just think about this. It's for your business, okay? What we've got coming next year is an opportunity where we're going to have thousands of new people coming to Roswell and doing their thing. You're a business that serves Roswell, and locals know about you, and locals may know what you're doing and understand your coolness here. But you have an opportunity to allow thousands of more people to learn about your business that are going to be here and may say, hey, while I'm here this week, I'm going to stop in and pick up something, that widget X or whatever it is at your store. And to pull that off by yourself can get quite expensive, that's why the working with the chamber, with the Luna Cow folks, this could actually give you the most bang for your buck on your advertising, especially with the flux of new people coming in.
Yes.
And these people are they're not going to know all the ways to access things. These people are going to do what everyone does when they're new to something. You get on your phone. Let me look at Yelp. Let me look at whatever they do to find out about a town.
That's right.
Now we got Luna Cow. We got the chamber. We've got everything. We will steer them to that.
Correct.
And you guys get to take the advantage of it. That's what we're doing
Absolutely.
here. So when the Luna Cow folks do come knock on your door, business, now get it. If you're mom and pop and you got 70,000 people in your store doing your thing, say, hey, bad timing, dude. Love to talk to you, but come get me tomorrow. But please hear them out and let them. They just might be a big advantage to your business.
When they call, if they don't get you, they will leave a voicemail, and they do follow up with emails to see if you're interested. So don't be surprised if you get an email from Lunar Cow and you get a phone call with a voicemail. They're just reaching out to you on behalf of the chamber to see if you want to be one of the few that are going to be able to advertise on the paper map, but the many that will advertise on the digital map.
It's unlimited for the digital.
Absolutely. So hear it out and see what works best for you. And if you listen and hear the thing, you say, nah, it's not going to help me, then send them out the door. But at least give them the chance.
But at least you know now that it's not a scam. It's not anything. It is legit. And
I get it. We live in a world where everything you put your cackles up, someone comes and solicits you for anything, whether it's a phone or in person, you're on guard because that's how we've been trained to be.
Yep.
We're just saying it's okay. Be on guard, but these guys are friendlies. They're not going to.
And if you do have, doubts or anything, just call me at the chamber and I will, reassure you and explain to you. Yeah. I could even get the Lunar Cow folks on the other line while we're talking.
Yep.
So that you can hear that,
everything's on the up and up.
They are on the up and up.
Absolutely. Very good. So, so if that does happen, if you get an email or you get a visit, that's
call
what's
us.
going on.
Yeah.
So, what else we got to mention here?
Well, we mentioned earlier about logos and everything. We are working on the windows getting a facelift at the chamber.
Okay.
So be on
Actual
the lookout.
Windows, not our windows.
The design's on the windows.
Yeah.
So
I think it's updated every week according to Bill Gates. But anyway,
but we have 2 more ribbon cuttings so far scheduled this month.
Excellent.
One on the 18th. That's going to be Lone Depot on 204 West 2nd, Suite number
Elliot
5.
having the grand opening here of his new building after many years. Yeah.
And his battle buddy, Jeremy, I think it's Jeremy or Jonathan.
Jonathan, I think.
Yeah, Jonathan has joined the Redcoats.
Oh, excellent.
So we're excited about that.
All
and
right.
Ready for him to show up with his red coat or polo and our ribbon cuttings. He won't have to do it on that one because that's his show.
So he's going to wear his.
We'll give him a buy on that.
Coat or whatever he normally wears on his day job.
But the following week we have the French brothers homes.
The
at
housing,
Yes.
The new home subdivision out there on West Country Club, 1605 Magnolia, and that ribbon cutting will be at noon on the 23rd.
Okay.
And we also have a new red coat from the French brothers,
right.
Carlos. So,
of course, that day he'll be wearing his tool belt.
Right.
Or whatever he does. I don't know. He might be a builder. I don't know.
So, new members that came on right at the end of September were the French brothers. Tammy's Smoke Shop down in Monterey Shopping Center.
Very good.
Go see Tammy and Bill. They have the NFL store with all the.
Oh yeah, you can find them. You can find an afternoon in the Monterey Shopping Plaza. You can find all kinds of stuff in there.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of treasures. Just and every store in that place, from salmons on to everything else in there too.
and so working with them to find out when they want to do their ribbon cutting, because I think they're going to kind of turn it into an anniversary ribbon cutting as well. So, but and A1 Glass has come on board, and I'm working with them for get their ribbon cutting set up. So we've got a lot in the works membership wise, and if anybody out there, if I have not contacted you or reached out to talk to you or come to meet you in person, if you're thinking about joining the chamber, by all means, give me a call. And let's get you into the chamber family. And
if you are currently a chamber member and you do have milestones or things that you want to celebrate as part of your business, reach out. We can get the red coats and what else we could do as part of that event too. Maybe we do a business after hours.
Correct. We can always do business after hours. We love to celebrate our members. But we just need to be made aware of some of the things that are going on, because there are two of us in the office. We do our very best to cover and blanket all of our members. And I tell you what, Gary has been a lifeline for the chamber. He has gone through, he'll be with us almost a year. So
in November.
November is
we'll
1
have to
year.
get the red coats.
That's right. And we will. We'll have to do
a
big
red coat thing
celebration.
for his 1 year anniversary.
And
you don't have to wear your coat that day.
That's right. You can wear your regular
clothes.
clothes. If you want to.
Do I get to be in the picture?
Yes. Yes, you can be in the picture. Oh, that reminds me of like going on vacation, when you were little and you go through all of your family photos and you're like, where's Dad? Where's Dad? He's in the picture because he's the guy behind the picture.
Well, I'm about to say every 5 pictures, like that's his finger right there.
Yeah. Whoever your picture taker is, you're looking at all of your family and you're like, oh yeah, there's Mom, there's this. Oh, where's Dad? Oh yeah. Oh, there's his finger. Okay, there's Dad.
Yeah, that's his thumbprint in the corner. That's Dad right there.
Like on the red coat photos, when ribbon cuttings, when I have to be the one taking the picture instead of being in it. Maybe I can get Sarah Lee.
You should be like, hi.
Get Sarah Lee at the chamber photo provided by Gary Grant.
There you go.
Not shown.
Absolutely. We'll Photoshop you in somehow.
But please, let the chamber help celebrate those events. And of course, if you're not a chamber member and you're interested, come or give a call. Gary will be happy to come visit your business and talk to you about what exactly.
Because we have all kinds of benefits that we offer, and it's possible that there's something that you want us to do. We may not have thought of it because, like I said, once again, we're two people. We're trying to do the best that we can. If there's something you want us to do, let us know. We may not have thought about it. Or it might be a tool in the toolbox that we just don't know what to do with it yet. So let us know and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, and then we'll start using that tool.
That's right. Because I find things all the time. I go into Gary's office. I'm like, did you know that we have fill in the blank? And he goes, no, I didn't. I'm like, now I got to figure out what do we do with it? Like, it seems like it's pretty cool. I just don't know what to do yet.
I'm at an age in my life where I'll get like a new app or something for the phone or for even my TV, like a new service. And I'm that guy. I'm like, I didn't know you could watch 2 channels at once. What's up with that?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm that guy who learns on the fly, like 5 years later. I'm like Dumb and Dumber where he's leaving the bar and he sees the man on the moon thing we put a man on the moon? Yes! Yep. That's that guy. I'm 30 years to the game.
Well, I have teenagers, so I'm usually only about 4 days behind because the teenagers will make sure to tell me. And of course, we all know that there's certain things in the news right now. Yeah. And every day, Mom, oh my gosh, I got to show you. Guess what? And I'm like, okay, all right.
Nope. Like, I think it's time where I can bring back Because it's still relatively new in my world, all that in a bag of chips. Like, people have gone that generations ago.
Oh,
I think if I
yes.
start doing it again, people are going to trend it, think it's all new. And, like,
I think, well, they do.
And a bag of chips is a funny thing.
Well, the kids, I know my kids do certain stuff, and I'm like, you know that it was my generation that did that first.
Every once in a while, I'll throw a psych out at them, and they're like, what? Psych.
Oh, yeah. My kids get mad at me because, like, they'll have googly eyes for a certain, boy or something. And I'm like, why don't you get their digits? Mom, that's so old.
Right.
We don't ask for digits. We ask for their snap.
Ooh, that
And
sounds
I'm
even worse, actually.
I know. I'm like,
that sounds gross.
but that's because they want your Snapchat or your Instagram, but everything's through Snapchat.
Yeah. I just saw the time we got to go.
Yeah, okay.
If anybody has any questions or anything about anything we talked about here, you can go to the Chamber's website, which is roswellnm.org. Or you can come by the Chamber or call, which I never have.
575-623-5695. We're off a 2nd on the corner of Richardson and 2nd, right behind Subway and Verizon, which is on 2nd and Main. You can't miss us.
Absolutely.
Come see us.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Mike.
7:58, quick break before news. Don't go away.
Hey there, Chief Detective at Trustmark Roofing and Windows. If you think you need a new roof or windows, you should know that Trustmark specializes in just the facts. We investigate your roofs or windows issues, document our research in a thorough case file, then present you with hard evidence of our findings. Witnesses in the southeastern New Mexico area can corroborate Trustmark's just the facts approach. A local customer said, of all the bids we received, Trustmark Roofing was the most detailed and explanatory. And another witness said, I received bids from 3 top-rated roofers, and Trustmark was the most thorough and forthright. Get the roofer who specializes in just the facts. Dial 575-755-7663 or visit TrustmarkRoofingLLC.com today. But you didn't hear it from me.
Jennifer here at Trustmark Roofing and Windows. At Trustmark, we're all about our customers, and that is because we have some of the best people in the world at our company.
Call now and ask about our special offers. 575-755-7663.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
It's almost time for the Eastern New Mexico State Fair in Roswell. H.F. Sinclair invites you to attend the fair for all the fun and excitement it brings. From the concerts and shows to the livestock shows and 4-H sale to the food and model trains. The Pecos Valley Model Railroad giant HO scale train layout has been in operation at the fair since 1983. The train layout is inside the exhibit building in the fair, and trains are operating every day. H.F. Sinclair is a proud supporter of the Pecos Valley Model Railroad and hopes to see you at this year's Eastern New Mexico State Fair, September 30th through October 5th.
There, and the region is bracing for further escalation as Israel vows retaliation for Iran's ballistic missile attack. Correspondent Joe Fetterman in Jerusalem.
Israel's been battling Iran's allies over the past year. Most of that time, it's been fighting Hamas militants in Gaza. More recently, in the past few weeks, it has turned its attention to Hezbollah militants in Lebanon. Now it appears that Israel and Iran are moving closer and closer towards some sort of direct confrontation.
President Biden visits the storm-battered Carolinas today as the search for survivors goes on in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene.
The president travels to Greenville, South Carolina first, followed by a stop in Raleigh, North Carolina. In South Carolina, he'll take an aerial tour of the storm-damaged areas, and later in North Carolina, the president will receive an operational briefing from federal and state officials.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston, Swannanoa, North Carolina resident Robin Wynn says she is giving thanks in the midst of it all.
I didn't know where I was going. Didn't know what was going to happen next, but I got out and I'm alive, and I'm very blessed.
The storm blamed for at least 166 deaths across half a dozen states. They sparred over issues ranging from abortion to illegal immigration to the crisis in the Mideast. Vice presidential candidates J.D. Vance and Tim Walz debated last night in New York. Day 2 of the East and Gulf Coast dock workers' strike. The union's initial demand was for a 77% pay hike over 6 years. Union dock workers earn a base salary of roughly $81,000 per year, but some can pull in over $200,000 with overtime. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is down 70 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Presidential sash, passed it to the head of the Congress, who then placed it over Claudia Sheinbaum's neck, marking a true moment of history in Mexico. She becomes the first woman to hold the top office in 200 years of the Republic, as she put it when she won the presidential race earlier this year. Thousands of her supporters have gathered outside the Congress and in the main square in Mexico City, the Zócalo, to welcome Ms. Sheinbaum into office.
The BBC's Will Grant. There have been 2 pre-dawn explosions in the vicinity of the Israeli embassy in Copenhagen, prompting the nearby Jewish school to close for the day. Police say no one was hurt in the blast at around 3:20 local time this morning. Security has also been stepped up around Copenhagen's main synagogue ahead of the Jewish New Year holidays tomorrow and on Friday. News and analysis at townhall.com. Congress is gripped once again by the tyranny of the urgent.
The stopgap farm bill is set to expire next Monday, and the congressional coalition that the massive legislation has relied on for half a century is on the verge of breaking down. Now, congressional negotiators are desperately racing against long odds to minimize the damage before benefits run out at the end of the year. The bill's expiration marks the second straight year of Congress's failure to pass a typically 5-year piece of legislation, which for almost a century has underpinned the U.S.'s agriculture sector and food aid programs. Congress must decide whether to try to get a farm bill done this year or pass yet another stopgap and hope the next batch of lawmakers is up to the job. The Democratic-controlled Senate has yet to advance its own version of the legislation. Bernie Bennett, Washington.
The Biden administration now specifically including LGBTQ plus people in a program that helps refugees resettle in the U.S., those who say they've been hassled or threatened in their home countries. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2. Los Dos. Pretty staticky.
A little bit.
I think we had 2 cards in there. I was hearing the commercials on my radio feed.
Oh.
It sounds fine to you guys, but all right, peel back curtain. On my board, I have two different ways I can listen. I have what's called program, and then I hear basically the raw feed we're sending out.
Right.
But I also have the on-air feed, which in essence we have a radio that this is tuned into, and so I'm hearing exactly how you hear it on the radio, and that's how I like it.
Right.
But my tuner is slightly off, so there's static
It
in the
sizzles ever so slightly
in our headphones. So
and for somebody who already has sizzly S's,
yes,
it's extra sizzly.
So that's what I'm talking about. You guys are fine. It's just housekeeping on our end. I got to go in there and bump something. But anyway, happy
housekeeping.
Happy hour 2. Happy Wednesday. Everybody's having a great day.
Absolutely.
Of course, senior day out at the fair, 3 to 6 today. If you are interested in going out for senior day, seniors 55 and up, it's 3 to 6 today, beginning at 3 p.m. They're going to have golf carts stationed at the front main entrance there. If you would like a ride to the education building where they're taking off seniors for senior day, 3 to 6 there, more than welcome. What I will tell you is from 3 to 6, really the livestock shows will be going, and the education building will be open, and they'll have some stuff there for you to do and see while you're there. But at 4 o'clock is when the commercial building opens up, the carnival fires up. A lot of the entertainment and things will start doing its thing out there. Of course, the concerts tonight. So you get in between 3 and 6 for free. They'll give you the ride there. But then, but if you want to kind of see all the other stuff, it really will start after 4 o'clock. So if you want to kind of do the education building stuff, get there right at 3. You can do that, and then right about 4 o'clock, if you want to go hit the commercial building, or you're like, no, I'm Ferris wheeling it, or I'm going to the fun house. Whatever your jam is, you go do it. So,
absolutely.
Man.
It's all waiting for you. And it's dollar ride night also.
Oh, it is dollar ride night too, so take advantage of that. Absolutely.
Please do. I got to say a humongous thank you to the folks who put on Special Needs Day.
Yeah, you had a great time with Rhiannon out there.
Yeah, we took to the rides. It was actually pretty funny. At first, we went and we watched The Magician, because everything was very we had to keep the groups together.
Sure.
So we went and watched The Magician. Ron Diamond, by the way, you got to check him out. Then we wandered into the livestock pavilions. At this point, we're following another class, and we're doing the zigzag up and down, looking at all the. It's like, okay. At one point, a teacher was like, walk this way. And so we kind of left the pavilion.
Walk this way.
How many cow keisters do you need to see in a day? We saw a good solid 20.
I need more.
You need more? You know what? I understand. Made our way over to the poultry barn, to the rabbit barn. And then at that point, they were like, if you're here with the parent, you can go. So we were set free. I got to say, Rhiannon outbraved me yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. First thing she wanted to do was ride the Ferris wheel.
Nice.
Okay, fine.
That's the thing you hate the most in the entire building and
I'll
the entire
indulge you the one time. She's not scared of heights like Dad is. At first, I think she was feeding off my fear, and she was kind of getting all worked up.
Right.
But eventually, I was like, okay, this is good. This is good. I took a little small video of it. But then we went on a couple other rides. She did the roller coaster, which I was pretty impressed with, and some of the other stuff.
Her.
Then she decided the last thing she wanted to do was get back on the Ferris wheel. I'm like, you're going to make me do it again? I did it the one time. And I'm telling you, both times I did it, I'm holding on this pole like I'm a first-time stripper, just staring at my feet.
Just praying, all kinds of prayers going out.
We're not, as long as I look at my sneakers, we're not going anywhere.
And then you go 2 feet to his left or right, and there's Rhiannon, teeth out, laughing, just enjoying herself.
Okay, so Rhiannon has this... It's a stem.
I wish they had the cameras like you see those moon shoot whatever game of you and Rhiannon sitting there at the fair, and there's Sean all, that would be an amazing video.
I took a picture of my face at the top of the. I was like, oh, but no, because Rhiannon has a stem where she will flap her arms, and when she's really excited, and she was doing that. I'm like, and it was moving the cart. I'm like, stop doing that!
Don't breathe.
Well, and the other thing is, and this is of course where my mind goes, the cart. And the actual wheel, there's not even that much space between the two of them.
Right.
There's so little clearance. And I feel like that is just, it's got hazard written all over it. At some point, just a piece of metal is going to be out of place and just catch.
And that's what happens when you're afraid of something. You create all kinds of weird scenarios in your head that are really, really impossible. But in your head, there's like a 50-50 shot it's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah, but that is really cool that she had a great time and she rode the rides and really got a full fair experience, it sounds like. So good for her.
And I'm gonna take him out again Thursday because I have to be out there working Thursday. So take them out there and let them kind of do their thing for a bit.
Drag the mom along and say, "You want that Ferris wheel this time? Get her in that."
Well, that's
Ferris
the
wheel
beauty of it is mom has to be out there working for the auxiliary fire department for her boyfriend. So I'll she'll be out there too, and I can just pawn them off on her.
That's
for a
right.
little while.
Oh, scary ride? Go see your mom.
Go talk to your mother.
When you want chicken on a stick, come talk to me.
That's right. Bacon wrapped chicken on a stick.
All right.
Mind you.
Oh gosh, yeah. And Sean reported to me yesterday, and now the quest has begun. There is a booth out there that has bacon on a stick.
Yes.
And there's only one time in my life I've ever experienced bacon on a stick, and it's weirdly enough in Disney World. We got at Disney World.
It is where the magic happens.
And it was in the Magic Kingdom, and we got there like early, like even before a lot of stuff kind of opened up.
Right.
Like it was and I was hungry. And the only thing that was open that had food around was just this little stand that was over by Pirates of the Caribbean, weirdly enough, because I was in that facility. And they had bacon on a stick, and I bought, and it was like $8 for bacon on, crazy. Disney World,
right?
And I'm like, and I'm probably lowballing. It was probably $10 or $12, but anyway,
a bargain at half the price when you're hungry.
My wife and I each got a thing of bacon on the stick, thinking, and oh my god,
yeah, it's not bacon is a misnomer. It's like thick pork belly.
Yeah, it's pork belly smoked like but thick. Oh, all I'm saying is, if people said, "What's the happiest experience you've ever had in Disney?" That was it for me.
That was it.
It's not all the cruises, the food, all it was bacon on a stick at your Pirates of the Caribbean.
Here's the choose your own adventure that
is. Roy got into that one.
Here's the choose your own adventure that is our fair. If you choose to enter via the Ferris wheel, your exit will then be on the the left fork of the fairgrounds.
Okay,
which means the midway you'll go this way around and hook to come back up towards the commercial building and all the other stuff. If you enter the fairgrounds through normal means, chances are you're taking the right fork. Either way, whichever fork you take, at the very back side of the midway, over by like where some of the more thrill rides are, that's where you'll find your bacon booth.
And they have bacon on a stick.
They have chicken wrapped bacon on a stick, chicken wrapped jalapenos or bacon wrapped jalapeno on a stick.
Y'all go visit that, and then you can send the thank you notes later. You'll be very impressed.
We'll appreciate it.
Oh my goodness.
Kind of strange how it's very close to where the pigs are too.
That sends a message.
Well, the fairgrounds is where
that's a message to the pigs. Behave yourself.
That's the beauty of it. It's set up in what we call the waft zone, where it just wafts over them.
Yeah,
and they can smell their future. Oh, speaking of eating,
speaking of food, yes, Sean and I were thinking the same here. Let's. So we want to do it with Roy's here. That's why we've been. I'm going to call that part of the excuse why we've been dragging out. The other part is we just got busy.
We were sick.
Yeah, we got sick.
We got slam busy.
Yeah.
So these have been sitting in our office for about 2 weeks now, and
so they're good and fresh.
I got to fully disclose this package has been opened because my son has had a few.
So they're probably a slight on the stale side.
Maybe a little, but it's been
2
sealed
weeks
otherwise.
is lowballing it. It's more than
It's
like
been
3 weeks.
sealed otherwise.
So what we have, and to peel back the curtain, we procured a couple weeks ago when we found out about these. Coca-Cola and Oreo have teamed up, where Oreo has put out a Coca-Cola flavored cookie, and conversely, Coca-Cola has put out an Oreo flavored cola.
Now, interestingly, they only put this out in zero.
Oh, you can't even get it and let it?
There is no full flavor.
Okay, I did not know that. I thought there was a full.
No, it is only available in zero.
So I found at
zero sugar.
Not to throw plugs, but I'll throw a plug at the new Maverick. I found that Oreo soda water, and then Sean procured the cookies at his favorite cookie establishment
up at the Walmart.
And then
I got it at Allsup's.
Yeah. Now, Roy, peel back the curtain. Roy's been sucking on sodas for a month now. These things,
he's tried these.
He's kind of like I've seen him multiple times carrying an Oreo soda around. He straight up likes them.
Now, I got to say, I've already had the open, because I've gotten one for Hunter. So I'm going to let you peel that back to see, because this is everything I've read online is the smell is the majority of the cookie experience.
Okay.
So there's a peel at the top right there on that side. There you go.
There it is. I found it. All right.
You kind of
wrong?
Like a citrusy, kind of like a almost sizzling. Like
I smell Oreo, but there's something else going on there.
Right.
Do you smell Coke?
I kind of do. It's kind of a it's kind of a corn syrupy smell or whatever is in soda. Yeah.
What it is it's like a citrus smell, like a lemony or orangey.
Cinnamon.
Because that is
now, these look like they're double stuffs.
Maybe.
Yeah,
but they
look
do
like
have
they're
the Coke cookies on one side, regular Oreo on the other.
Yeah, I'm going to take one and then I'll pass it along.
The cream in the middle, the cream between, if you will, is also Coke flavored, but it's got popping candy inside.
Okay.
So
now I've had, if you remember, we tried, and to be honest, Sean, I can't remember if it was me and Jeffrey or me and you.
Okay.
But we tried the what they called the 4th of July Oreo cookies. And they were basically your standard Oreo cookie.
Yeah.
But in the cream part, they basically put Pop Rocks.
Yeah. No, that was me. I was here for that.
And so I have had that before, and it's a cool combination. So if we got that going on with the Coke,
I know the Coca-Cola smell, and you'll know it too if you ever cracked open a Coke. It smells like that, but also kind of like a shortbread cookie.
I was about to say, yeah, exactly. It smells like Coke and cookie is what it smells like.
All right, so I'm going to go in now.
I'm going to go
bite first.
Yeah, I'm not going to separate. I'm just going to bite it this way.
Okay.
Munching noises.
Now see, the chocolate Oreo is overpowering, but I'm getting the Coke. I'm getting kind of the flavor of it.
I am. It's not. I will say this.
Oh my God! Go out and buy this right now. It's so good.
You like it? Big fan?
Oh, I was just kidding.
No,
but it's not bad.
Like, to be honest, at first I call it all chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
On the back end, I don't have any chocolate. All I'm getting is the shortbread and the Pop Rocks.
So try this. Take just the red.
Yeah, it does have that Pop Rocks kind of like sizzle in your mouth.
There it is right there. Yep, there it is. Take just the red side, the cookie side, and scrape some of the cream off, and just eat it that way. You can really taste the what they're going for with the Coca-Cola flavor.
I will say this: it's an edible cookie, tastes fine.
Sure.
But in the world of Oreo, not their best. Not their best.
I've definitely tasted better for sure.
Now let me try to challenge this a little bit.
All right.
So, what I'm thinking is that the taste of Coke that you're getting is not actually from the taste, but it's coming from the smell of the cookie.
So if you tried holding your nose
to be
and eating the cookie.
Yeah, if you try holding your nose, try holding your nose and eating one of these and see if you can actually still taste Coke.
Give it a shot.
Yeah.
Totally visual, by the way.
I hope this part's on camera.
It's not. This is just for you and me.
You can't see me. You can't see me holding my nose. You can hear me though.
But I'll describe it. It's adorable because he's going overhanded with it.
Yeah.
Whereas some of us would just do. He went overhanded.
Well, he's got to free the mouth hole to
right.
put the cookie.
He does the AI overhand shot.
If you go underhand, you block the mouth hole.
Allen Iverson style.
Well, I was kind of challenging y'all to do it, but
well, I don't have any cookies.
Yeah,
they're still in that package.
But I do want your opinion. I'm only eating one cookie right now. I'll have one later. I got soda. So otherwise I'll be burping and doing all kind of goofy stuff on the radio.
So to wash it down, we're gonna crack open.
So it just tastes like an Oreo to me. Like I'm actually not tasting the Coke when I plug my nose.
To be honest, after eating the whole cookie and now you're about a minute after digesting and savoring cookie, chocolate heavy. Then I caught a hint of the Coke, and then it was shortbread and Pop Rocks the rest of the way out.
Cinnamon almost.
Yeah, and a little lemon.
Yeah, a little bit of that's where.
Now I think that's part of that shortbread part
right?
too.
Right.
I didn't get a lot of chocolate except for the beginning, and I only caught the Coke flavor for a fleeting second, like right after the chocolate wave, and then it went right to shortbread and Pop Rocks. That's how I.
There you go.
Got it.
And yeah, the Pop Rocks I think is probably the part that held out the best. Or last.
Although that one wasn't as poppy as the 4th of July one. I remember more Pop Rock action in my mouth with the 4th of July one than the Coca-Cola one here. So
don't spill.
So, which I'm gonna guess there's less Pop Rocks in this because they want to simulate carbonation, not fireworks. So they went with a lesser ratio.
Yeah, that's
of Pop
they're
Rock.
just going for like a fizz, almost like when you heard me open the soda. The psst.
Yeah. Now,
all right, now this is the Oreo flavored soda.
He's poured it into our cups. I'm going to smell it first. It's like wine tasting.
I know.
I don't know if it's because I just ate Oreo cookie, but I smell Oreo.
Well, I smell vanilla. Is what I smell. All right.
I got a little on the stash. I had to lick it. Sorry. All right.
You have to chew it a bit.
Well, okay, now I'm getting that kind of like sourness from because when you you know how you eat candy and then you drink soda and you get a little sour. So you got to kind of wait a little bit.
I don't taste Oreo.
I don't taste the chocolate part of the Oreo. I taste like the cream, like a vanilla almost.
To me, it just tastes like a oversweetened soda.
It's not bad. It's really not bad.
Really, you don't taste the Oreo?
All I taste is a sweet back end.
I think it's because like I said, I think it's because we ate the cookies first.
I've got a feeling, yeah, I might be, and I took some water in between to try to, but Oreo cookie crumbs linger.
Having had tasted this before, I will tell you, it tastes just like the cookie part of the Oreo.
Yeah.
That it's been blended up in a smoothie and has been turned into soda form.
I think the only way I could get into this is if they made it in a fountain version. I think it would be better on ice with a fountain version. I don't think it tastes. I think
on ice and fountain.
Yes, I think if McDonald's or one of these people put that in their fountain, it's going to taste way better than coming out the bottle.
You guys aren't rocking the headphones. You guys totally missed out on the
I heard.
ASMR
I caught you over doing all that. I was over. He's up there swirling and.
Well, I feel like you got to kind of aerate it a little bit. You have to chew it a little bit. I'm getting what both of you guys are saying, where you kind of get the chocolate of the cookie.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
It tasted like blended up Oreos to me.
And I think it's because it's still very carbonated and sharp on the tongue. So the first thing you're going to get is that Coca-Cola carbonated tongue.
Yeah, to me it tastes like a regular Coke with a huge sweet aftertaste.
Oh, you know what? This is going to sound odd, okay? Most things I say do. Finish your cup and then smell it.
It's also because we were probably drinking it from a cup.
From a cardboard cup, yeah.
From a paper cup and not from the bottle.
You can really kind of get some of that like almost cookie smell from the cup.
Now, to be honest, that second swallow, I tasted a little bit more Oreo in it. But
ooh. And again, also, a nice little afterbelch.
The burps.
It tastes of Oreo.
Oreo burp.
And that could also be the
we
cookie.
We also had an Oreo, in all fairness. So.
But
okay. In the Coke side, it's better tasting than most of those Starlight flavors.
I'll give you that. It doesn't taste like, the internet or whatever it is they're trying to
But as
go
a
for.
daily drinker, no way.
Yeah.
No way I'd drink that on a regular.
Oh, no, I wouldn't have.
No.
Yeah.
I would have one of those every day. That's a once in a while, once in a while.
Once a week.
or like if you're at a party and said, you want one of those? All right, I'll drink one of those. But I'm not buying a case of those and having it in my house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a tough sell. It definitely is a lot sweeter than a normal Coke Zero.
And the Oreos, I'll eat the entire package like I would any other Oreos. But that being said, of Oreo, that's one of my lesser favorite ones.
Yeah.
This is like a Super Bowl drink.
Like, to me, I had such low opinions of like the lemon ones and all that. But here's the thing.
Where you and I differ.
Well, here's the thing.
Okay.
Hear me out before. Let me finish.
Sure.
Going in, I always like lemon Oreos. I'm like, yeah. And then I ate one, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is, and this is before you.
Yes.
I think I said it on air, and from that point on, I got.
No, do you remember the box?
Yeah, I got boxes. Were you here? Okay,
I was
can
here
remember
for
if
that
that
one,
was. And I just remember I was wrong, and I completely were wrong at it. I will tell you this: I will eat 70 lemon ones over that one.
That's where I discovered the lemon thins were the best cookie they make. But yeah, that's not bad. But I did walk by the other day on a store shelf and saw them for $7.39 a piece.
Whoa!
These, I'm like, oh God, no.
Yeah.
What the heck?
And that's not even like the specialty flavor Oreos. They shrink the package. It's not even more so than the regular Oreo.
Well,
they shrunk all of them, but
they give
those special ones are even more shrunk.
They space them out differently.
Yeah, they're
So
even more shrunk than the standard Oreo.
I
package.
will say I'd like to get a hold of a sealed pack of these and hold on to them maybe in like.
Is our guest here? Is Lauren here?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh good. Well, we need to stop.
Destroying time.
Yes. We got the Chinese Cokes, and I'm like, is our guest here? We got to get them going.
I'd like to get a pack sealed and try to sell it on
try the
eBay,
Oreos.
but beyond that.
They sneak in. I can't hear
really
nothing.
do. They're so quiet.
So sneaky. So was it to I sneaky from Big Daddy? I sneaky. Oh, thank you.
Right.
Thank you. All right, but you know what?
Can I let her try some more?
Yeah, I don't want any more. You.
She can take the.
I don't want to see them ever again. No, give them, try them, all that stuff. But if you are playing at home, I would say if you're going to get one of the two, the Orioles are better than the cola, in my opinion. So, all right, it is 8:27. We got to get the hour going, so we're going to do weather here real quick, and then a quick break. On the other side of that, we're going to have Lauren Dickinson join us with the Roswell Refuge, talking about Domestic Violence Awareness Month, Candlelight Vigil. Of course, the month of October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, so it's a busy month for the Refuge. So we'll talk with Lauren here in just a bit, talk all about that. Later on the hour, we'll get you update with news of the local variety, Wall Street business updates, sports reports, and everything else too. So let's do this. We're going to take it's 8:27. We're going to do weather, and then a quick 2.5 minute break, and then we'll have Lauren join us from the Refuge on the other side. Don't go away.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Strong high pressure in place over the southwestern states, and it looks like that'll be hanging around for a while. The jet stream pattern is way off to the north, so we won't see any big changes around here. Upper 80s for the high today, and we get sunshine. The wind will stay fairly light, though. Clear and mid-50s for the overnight hours, and then we're in the low 90s for the high on Thursday, and sunny upper 80s Friday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
At Artesia General Hospital, we know it's early, but schedule your mammogram today and save. Call 855-RAD-EXAM and save 10% off mammograms scheduled through October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And get a refreshing drink discount from Kith & Kin in Artesia or Blue House in Carlsbad. We use leading-edge, FDA-approved Genius 3D mammography technology to deliver more accurate results faster and with more comfort. Women over 40 do not need a referral for yearly screenings. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
When seconds matter and your family's in danger, who do you count on? Law enforcement and brave first responders. What if I told you that Congressman Gabe Vasquez has voted to defund the police, to stop the hiring of new Border Patrol agents, and reduce the sentences for dangerous criminals? This is Sheriff Mark Cage, and I am tired of people like Gabe Vasquez lying to us. Gabe talks a big game here in New Mexico, but his actions in Washington tell a very different story. We need a leader like Yvette Harrell in Congress. That's why law enforcement stands with her. Yvette is endorsed by the New Mexico Sheriff's Association, Albuquerque Police Officers Association, and the Border Patrol Union. It takes courage to stand up for what is right, and Gabe Vasquez doesn't have it. And when minutes matter and your life's on the line, Gabe Vasquez won't support those who answer the call, like me or my deputies. Stand with law enforcement and vote with me for Yvette Harrell.
I'm Yvette Harrell, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Yvette Harrell for Congress.
What? My trade's gotta be worth more than this!
Hey, Roswell and surrounding areas, don't get hit hard by low trade offers. Right now, the all-new Roswell Ford needs your trade. That means you'll get top dollar for your trade. Stuck in your loan or lease, Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth. So you can drive a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle for a lot less. For a limited time, get 0% APR or no payments till 2025. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Roswell Ford has partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford with new management and a whole new attitude. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 36 months is $27.78 per thousand financed on select models. No payments till 2025. Subject to lender approval through Ford credit. Offers not combined.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The ball on top of a flagpole is called a truck. Mess with your friends today by pointing at a flagpole and say, "Hey, check out the truck on top of that flagpole." Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:30, and I'm welcoming. I got to reading, and they were talking about eating cookies in the other room, and I was like, "Oh, we got to go on the radio."
But I'm here. I was eting Oreos.
That's right. Lauren Dickinson joining us. Actually, I think I used your maiden name last hour, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I went reverted back to a couple years ago in my head. I rebooted.
Don't do that.
I did a factory reboot in my head. I'm sorry about that. But Lauren's joining us with the Roswell Refuge this morning. Good morning.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Of course, arguably, this is probably, as far as for the Roswell Refuge, as far as awareness and things, this is a busy month because
it is. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Absolutely.
And it's October 2nd.
And it is officially October. It kind of snuck in on us with everything going on, but it is October, and with the fair and football and the gazillion things that are going on in our
city
community.
Water
here.
debacles.
Yeah, the city. I mean, it's just a busy time right now. But that being said, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and so we want to remind folks the seriousness and the nature of what goes on with this.
Absolutely.
Every year, you guys do your annual candlelight vigil.
Me too. I printed you out a flyer yesterday. I'm late to the game, and I folded it up in my purse, and of course, my purse is in the car.
I know exactly
so
how
I was
that goes.
emailing
Welcome
myself.
You were in my life this week, except minus the purse, but everything else.
Yeah, it's like, last week I felt like I had it together. My son's in baseball, so I did, crock pot dinner. So, man, got home, and yesterday my husband was like, what are we going to have for dinner? I was like, man, I really had it together last week.
Right.
I don't know what happened.
That's when you're like, pizza it is.
Yeah, our daughter loves pizza. We're excited. Remember, my name day is our annual candlelight vigil.
Yes.
We are having it at the Anderson Museum of Contemporary Art.
You've been doing it there last couple years now. And it's been a great place.
Gracious.
Yeah, it's a great facility.
And it is
house
an awesome venue. If you've never been there, I love the giant knit ball.
It's
like my cats would go crazy.
Yeah, I highly recommend get there early or hang out after.
Yes.
And tour the museum.
Yes.
Yeah, because
you get to see the museum for free.
Exactly. And if you've never been to the Anderson,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful museum, but I would argue of all the museums in town, which we are blessed, we have a bunch of them in town.
We do.
We just had Museum Day, and I hope you visited all of them. But the Anderson Museum is such an eclectic mix of art where you've got things that which people would lack to find, but it's all of that. Like you can walk in and see what people would say is art, traditional art, paintings on the wall or whatever.
It doesn't do it justice driving by because you don't know how big it is.
Yeah.
I remember the first time we were setting up the venue.
You're right.
And everyone was like, well, let's go do a tour. And I said, actually, I'm not going to go look around because I want to go with my husband. I thought it would be a good, afternoon
Turns out you didn't have enough time to do, you should have done both.
But it is so awesome in there. And it's big. It's huge.
And that's the cool part. Is like I said, because you find that traditional art, but then right next to it is recycled art or something that you would have never
giant
thought.
Ball of yarn that someone's made.
Exactly. And it's always updating and changing. And of course, I cannot not mention the Anderson Museum with talking about that beautiful piano in there. Now, unfortunately, on the event that night, no one's going to be playing it.
No.
But if you ever get a chance when they have concert nights out there and they'll get these concert pianists that come in that really covet playing on that piano because that piano is so...
Is it a baby grand?
It's a high end. I don't want to say what it is because I don't know, and I don't know enough to know how good it is. But all I know is everybody that's in piano world and does pianos look at that piano and say, "Yeah, that's a Ferrari."
Yeah, right. My sister-in-law is a piano teacher.
Okay,
and that's her background. She's now in medicine, but oh my gosh,
the
first time I heard her play the piano, I cried. So I could just imagine. Beautiful.
Maybe get an opportunity to play on this one.
That would be awesome.
But anyway, maybe that's the excuse. Get her to come to one of these events. Maybe it's a little late for this year, but say, hey.
Oh, she totally would.
And maybe she can provide music for the night in between testimonies and stories and everything. So, but really, I got sidetracked on pianos here.
We're all excited.
The whole point of the night is come to the beautiful Anderson Museum, and it's remember my name. We celebrate the lives of the. We celebrate the victories, the people that broke away and got from the situation.
Yes.
We mourn and remember those that lost their battles.
Absolutely.
And we raise awareness to help the people fighting now, to give them the strength to do what they've got to do to take the next step to make themselves better.
And if you walk in and you just want to hear part of a testimony, I mean, it's very impacting.
I'm about to say, I'm not going to lie. You're going to cry. You're going to laugh.
Yeah.
You're going to run through every emotion imaginable. You're going to be mad. You're going to be sad. You're going to be happy. You're going to laugh.
Absolutely.
It's going to be everything that night. But it is so worth it.
Bringing and drawing awareness to such a, pivotal thing that we need to be talking about.
Absolutely. And that's just it. And this is something that you and I have talked about over the years and everyone at the refuge that we talked about is domestic violence is solved by getting it out of the dark corners.
We got to talk about it.
By putting a spotlight on it.
And what it is. What does it look like?
Yep. And I will say this. In the last 20, 30 years, humanity, United States, whatever, has been, I'll say U.S. because there's still other parts of the world where there's some. But anyway, in the U.S., have made great strides in trying to combat this.
Yes.
Are we where we need to be? Not even close. But we're
gaining momentum.
We are way ahead in the game than we were 20 years ago.
Yes.
Now people aren't afraid when they see something that just raises the cackles on there. You know, something don't the sniff test ain't working.
Exactly.
People are reporting now,
Yeah.
and that.
If it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's
and I
probably
get
a
it.
duck.
There is this line of, we live in a country where, mind your business is a thing here.
Yeah.
People
Stay
have
in
the
your
right to
lane.
do your thing.
Yeah.
And I'm for that. But we all know when something's wrong.
We do.
And you can kind of
It's
tell.
that eerie feeling, the hair on the back of your neck,
And so what we're not asking you to do is not go in and step in and stop a fight.
No, we're
not
don't want
asking
there
you
to
to do
be,
that. But alert
danger.
authorities. Like if you're in a store, at least alert a manager saying something's going on here. Maybe get security on this, or call the police and say, I don't know what's going on here, but it don't look right. Can you check it out?
Yeah.
And you know what? If it's innocent, police will sort it out.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just a misunderstanding that you walked in on. No big deal.
Yeah.
But if it's not,
Let
you
the
may have just saved
professionals
someone's
handle it.
life that day.
Yes.
And that's what really this event's about. It's celebrating all that, but we want to give people the strength and courage and knowledge to say, when you see something not wrong, don't just walk by it. Save a life or do something that might in essence give someone a life that they are about to lose.
Yeah.
And so that's why this is so important. So the event is, like I said, come prepared to have fun because it is a celebration after all.
Don't bring kids.
Yeah,
it's not really
this is not a kid thing. It's not a family event. This is a grieving.
And I say that being a mom.
Yeah.
Total respect. That
Now,
we just don't
obviously,
want our
maybe
kids
if you have teenage kids and older kids that maybe want,
it would
but
be
certainly young
impactful.
kids that maybe you're not ready to expose this kind of
Yeah.
stuff to them yet.
Yeah, and how to
let them be
explain
kids
it.
for a couple more years before you start hitting them with some of this
Yes,
stuff.
my
You know what
son
I
was
mean?
asking for a cell phone this morning.
Yeah.
No, you're too little.
Well,
Stop.
and I know because as kids, when we were kids, you couldn't wait to get these kinds of
and
things.
now I'm like, please take it away.
Yeah, and now,
take
but
them
yeah,
all
exactly.
away.
It's like, and I wish I could make
Landline,
them understand.
please.
It's like, trust
Yes.
me, you're gonna have plenty of time
Yeah.
for this. Enjoy what you got
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
You'll be time enough for you're
This
gonna.
thing's glued to me.
Yeah, this
I
thing
mean,
will,
it's the lifeline.
This thing will be your bane of your existence at
Yes.
some point. Don't get in a rush to get one of these.
Yeah.
I agree.
He's like, well, how old do I have to be? I'm like, do we really have to talk
I would
about
say
this?
40, but you do
Yeah.
you.
I said 17.
After 18, I can't tell you anymore, but
I
I go
know.
40.
So we're going to have it Thursday, October 17th.
Yes.
From 5:30 to 6:30.
At the Anderson Museum,
Yes.
and it is a free event.
free. We'll have
don't have
light
to RSVP. But we would like to come. Yeah, like I said, we will have some finger food, snacks, and things. So.
And we'll have our little electronic candles. You know, in the past, we did it outdoors.
So we could have candles, but
Yes,
we don't want to
and
burn
it's-
nothing down at the Anderson.
No, we don't.
That would not be a
no.
good headline the next day.
But it's going to be a great event. Sadly, we don't get a whole lot of people that participate because it is, it's sad.
Well, let's just
Tugs
face
on
it.
some emotions.
And I get it. Depending on where you're at, and if you're dealing with things, you're not ready to rehash that
No.
yet. You're not ready to
No.
address that. You're still
No.
buried it and trying
that's
to.
okay.
And you know what? You do you at your pace and what you feel comfortable with.
Yes.
But if you're ready to share, or if you're ready, or you know what? And I imagine there's some people that they take this experience and they're saying, you know what? I'm going to be the warrior. I'm going to make sure that no one else on this planet experiences what I had to do. And this is your opportunity to share your
Or
story.
this is what I went through.
To share your
Yes.
strength with people that are going through or adjacent to people going through what you've experienced.
Yes.
And
And
that's,
those testimonies are powerful.
yeah.
There are. We have some great speakers.
Absolutely. And I would even invite offenders that have reformed.
Yes.
That's
And
another.
I actually invite my offender groups.
And I was about to say that's something we don't always talk about on the refuge sides, but we talk about
It's
helping
impactful
victims.
to them too.
Yeah, we talk about helping victims, but they do as much to help
Yes.
the people that are and because of we say this every single time, domestic violence. There's enough
Knows
studies.
no
There's
bounds.
enough. It's a
Yes.
cycle.
It is.
90% of the time, people that are abusers were probably abused
That cycle
in
behavior.
their younger
Yes.
days, and so I'm not.
Or they saw grandma do it. They saw grandpa do it.
Sure.
It's
And I get it. It's easy. It's easy to write off the perpetrator here.
Or
I get it.
the individual's under some type of form of substance
Sure.
abuse
Sure.
or under the influence.
But-
and we know that makes a really big difference.
Yeah, and
you
to
know?
be honest, and this is where as a Christian in me comes out. It's like no, God teaches, and I know, and everybody's Christian. I'm not trying
Yeah.
to, but for me personally, I look at it this way. It's like these people they did wrong.
Yeah.
But if God can forgive them, then why do we not do it? And to be honest, if they were given a different deck of cards than you were given, and I'm not defending what they did, but if you don't know any better, how are you supposed to know to do the right thing if you don't know?
Yes.
And so you got to
a lot of
give
it
them an
is-
opportunity
is
to know.
unlearning bad behavior, unlearning poor traditions.
Sure.
You know, there's a story that I tell in groups, and it's this girl is making her grandmother's amazing traditional pot roast. And so she's folding the roast and putting it in the pan, and she puts it in her oven, and her husband walks in, and her husband says, "Why do you fold it and put it in the pan like that?" And she goes, "What do you mean? That's the way my mom did it. That's the way her mother taught her." And she goes, "You know, I've always wondered. I'm going to call my mom." She calls her mom. She goes, "Mom, why do we fold the roast, put it in the pan, put it in the oven?" She goes, "Well, you're questioning tradition."
It literally is.
She goes, "But I don't know. I'm going to call your grandmother." So she calls her mother, and she says, "Mom, why do we fold the very famous traditional roast, put it in the pan, put it in the oven?" She goes, "Well, I don't know about you, but my pan was too small." So again, those unfound,
Sure.
It's such a simple answer, but that special tradition had been passed down.
It's all
you don't
about
really
perspective,
know why.
and you know what you know because you experienced it, and that. But you're right to the point here, and I'm not saying you don't justify what they did or anything, but
that's okay that it's special and her pan was too small.
Yeah,
make it like grandma.
Exactly.
But what are those negative?
Yeah, but there's no like there's no guarantee that the meat would come out any better if it's folded or flat. You know what I mean? And so that.
But I'm gonna do it that way because grandma did it.
Sure. So. Well, and to your head. Because you have a sense memory of it, and if you have it another way, it's not mom's. It's just not.
It's
and
not
so
special.
so there's that in that world. It keep going makes sense. But this is why so if you are offenders and stuff and have kind of reformed and seen, share your stories too, please. Give that perspective to people, because to fix this. We got to stop both sides.
Yes,
you got to break the cycle.
And we have to start at both ends. I look at it. We're starting at both ends of the spectrum. And maybe we can meet in the middle, you know?
Absolutely. It's kind of, because there is a balance. Because we live in a world where, yes, you want to, we are taught to, fight for what you believe in.
We want to bring all victims to survivorhood, but we also want all offenders to be rehabilitated and no longer offending.
Fine balance to stand up for you, but also compromise and that's
and
why
we have
marriage
to remember
is so
too,
hard.
most of it is punitive. So
that's why marriage is so hard. When we talk about marriage, you're getting two people that aren't clones of each other, and they've got to coexist. And sure, you pick people hopefully that have common ground, but if you're not gonna find that clone. And like you said, it's you were raised different. One's gonna be mom's always folded the thing. The other one's gonna be no, we just stuff.
And then let's talk about past trauma.
Yeah.
If you're coming into it and you have had, say an ex-wife, an ex-husband, and there's trauma there, and you're bringing that full package to your new marriage.
You're going to have to unpack that.
Yeah.
Because it's going to rear its ugly head at some point.
And there has to be mercy and grace and all those things.
And that's why that's the cycle
easy.
here. That's why it takes two to tango. It takes, if all parties are not involved in the healing process, it makes it really hard to heal. It just does. And so that's why we want to, reform these folks. And like you said, and to be honest, when these people realize like that light bulb moment is like, this is not how it's supposed to be, they quote unquote remorseful. And now we got to deal with another thing because now we have to worry about them because now they could fall in depression and, self-worth issues and things like that. And we don't want that either. We want to build them up. But at the same time, understand you can't treat society the way you treat society.
Yeah.
So,
and two, the Roswell Refuge has resources. We have a sexual assault nurse examiner on staff.
And that's something too we haven't really talked about today. And I know it's Domestic Violence Awareness Month, but the biggest other thing that goes on at the refuge.
And also restraining orders. We have a court advocate. She works remotely right now. She's wonderful. I think a lot of it too, though, is sometimes there is that break in communication where individuals, and I'm going to touch on this, that come in, and we are the type of society right now that we want what we want and we want it now. And so,
again,
yes. And I think that we have to remember that, when we go into places that sometimes it takes a little bit. It takes a little bit for the judges. It takes a little bit for police. the whole process takes a little bit.
To be
but
less
we're there to help.
nice about it, we live in a society where everyone thinks there's the star of their own movie.
Yes.
And
an emergency on your part counts as one on mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that it's not, the world ain't your movie. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And so we got to remind ourselves that patience and consideration for others and thinking about other people's perspectives sometimes.
But those resources, we have them. If you're in need of a restraining order, in the confines of domestic violence and you need to get away, there is a big difference too on the law.
Absolutely.
Of what the law reads is,
and it's state for state different.
Violence.
Yeah, it's kind of. But yes, the Roswell Refuge. If you're a victim, they can help you through every step of the process. Please reach out. They have a 24/7 hotline.
We do.
And this hotline is for anyone to call.
Yes.
If you yourself are dealing with violence, you're in the driver's seat the entire time. If you want to break out from your situation, that phone call will help you do it. If you just want to bend an ear and vent and talk, that it's there for that. If maybe you're not a victim, but you think something's funny going on and you're not sure how to handle it, call that number and talk to the people.
Yes.
Let them work through that.
575-627-8361.
It's anonymous and it's 24/7.
Yes.
So
if you need, to see if there's room and shelter for you, call.
That's really step one.
Yes.
And then, and then once you're ready to take that next step, they will welcome you into the Roswell Refuge and bring the kids, bring whatever you can with you.
Yes.
To get in there, but I know sometimes you're usually leaving the house and it's what you got in your hand.
And that's why we depend on the community for resources.
But
such
either
as
way,
hygiene and
Refuge will take care of you.
Yes,
that's
we
what
will.
They will provide you a bed, and a place to stay, and a place to decompress, and a place to plot your next move to get your life back on track.
Let's get you some resources too while you're there.
And if you do have to deal with the legal side or and this is where the SANE program comes in. Really, this is so amazing, and I applaud. I mean, everyone at the refuge, but particularly those SANE workers, because they really see the worst in humanity on a pretty regular basis.
Yes.
And it's a tough job to do, and I salute everyone. But these fine folks, what they do is when a victim of sexual assault comes to them, first things first is taking care of medical and health needs, making sure that person is healthy and whatever medical attention they need to get there, that's what they're going to do.
Yes.
Once
children too.
And children too, yes, and people involved. Now, once that has been established, if the victim wants to press criminal charges or pursue this matter further, the SANE folks will help them collect evidence. They will help them start the process. Then the refuge kicks in with the legal, get in touch with legal people, representatives. But as far as the physical, collection of evidence, getting everything they need for prosecutors to do what they got to do, the SANE helps in a safe, compassionate, caring way.
Yes.
You're treated. Because it's all done with you in command. If you're not ready to take the evidence, please understand. Sometimes, depending on DNA things, there are time-sensitive stuff, so they might be urgent on certain things if you're kind of on the fence about it. But you are in the driver's seat on this.
Yes, you are.
So
all of the control that's typically, stripped away from victims, we're trying to give it back to you.
Absolutely. So that's really the umbrella of the refuge. And then, by the way, like you said, the offender side, they have meetings for the folks that have come and realize
and you
it.
can be self-referred. If
you
wake
it's
up one day
self-referred,
and you're like, man, I got some things I need to work on.
Yeah,
Call me. Let's get you into groups.
Now, if the judge says you got to go to, trust me, it'll change your life.
Yeah,
you'll trust me. But if you don't have to wait to get to that point.
Yeah,
you don't have to get to that point.
If
you're feeling like,
because then it is punitive, and we have to have checks and balances.
Because I imagine there's some point some folks are thinking, am I really doing this wrong here? Maybe it is me. I mean, maybe there's that light bulb moment where everything you're hitting turns.
That light bulb moment goes off.
Fortunate enough to find that out before you're dealing with handcuffs or worse, then that's a good thing.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, that's a
But if
good
you're
thing.
like me, a hard learner, and it takes multiple times.
Some of us, you got to beat us up the head a couple times for it to sink in.
At 11 weeks out of 52 that you're sitting there with us, I see those light bulbs.
Absolutely.
I always say those old JetBlue commercials.
Absolutely.
The
purple,
puff of purple smoke. Yeah. That's it. They're like, oh my gosh, I have been doing this.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is abuse.
Yeah, and it's sometimes it's just
withholding our family's last $50 so I could go buy smokes and beer when we need diapers. Oh.
And you'd be amazed at what things happen or occur or said that just triggers that
and it's like
realization.
It unlocks these memories too. They're like, oh my gosh, I did this, and it's like it just starts flowing out.
Sure.
Well, let's fix it.
And then once that happens, then you hold the arms out. All right, let's bring it in. Let's fix
Yes,
it. Yep,
let's fix
that's
it.
what you do.
Yeah.
But that's how you fix this
And it's
problem.
always a we mentality.
Yeah.
I always have a we mentality.
Absolutely. It's got to be that. So
yeah, it's a team thing.
that's why the refuge is so important. That's why we'd love to have you come out on October 17th to the Candlelight
love
Vigil
to
and
see
support
you.
that. If you want to do more, here's a great way you can do that.
Yeah.
The Roswell Refuge, like I said, they provide the needs for all of the victims and
We do
folks that
men,
come in
women,
there.
and their children.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's quite expensive buying towels and bedding and hygiene supplies and food and things like
If
that.
you're at the store, pick up an extra family size,
That, and to be honest, your loaves of bread and your big family
Yes.
bottles of soap,
Yes.
that is it is actually fixing one
Yes.
issue at a time.
And we have some beautiful community members that
absolutely.
will drop off things.
Because
and-
part of the road to recovery for these victims is the mental health side of it, because they've built defenses, they've built there's probably some social quirks and anxieties and things missing with these folks because they've had to basically do things to protect themselves.
Yes, and now you have to rebuild.
And so
from the rebel.
Trust is a very hard thing to get back with some of these folks.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, when random strangers come in with bottles of shampoo
gosh.
and beauty supplies
Humanity
and toiletries
Yes.
and food, they like, why are they doing this?
Yeah,
just
that's
because
nice.
they
The human factor,
and they're
yes.
like, wait a minute, people are good, and it really does chink away at the armor
does.
that they've put up to protect themselves
It
to
does.
allow them to be and feel human
Yeah.
again.
And
so
to see their faces and they're like, oh my gosh, other people care.
absolutely, it's
Yes.
you don't realize such a simple task as go buying a couple pies and dropping them off at the refuge
Yeah.
makes a difference to
It
these
does.
folks in their lives. So if you have the means and the ability to do that, it's very
If
simple.
you want to redo a room, if you want to,
If you want to go bigger,
donate some furniture.
if we got a bunch of people that
Yeah.
spend their weekends watching HGTV
Yes.
and they've done so much in their house that their family's like, please stop.
Yes, if you'd like
Come to the refuge
build
and-
patio furniture for us, or
Yes.
absolutely.
Absolutely. There's and now that we're out of the COVID world again, we can start doing
We
these
can be
things.
friends.
Yeah, we can do. Now, please remember, the Roswell Refuge is we're protecting people here.
Yes.
So anonymous, there's when you get to the
Anonymity,
refuge,
yes.
there are certain things that
We
just
can't
for
talk
the
about.
for the protection of the. So that's why not everybody just gets in there. They just
Yeah.
don't let people in there because unfortunately.
You
And,
have to
and
be
I know
a
this is
victim.
hard to wrap your head around for some people,
Mhm.
but some of these people breaking away from violent situations, people
Yes.
that have vendettas.
Yes.
And some of these abusers are angry that they broke
Yes,
away
they are.
and they've exposed them for what they are.
Yes.
And some of these folks are
And they
so
need to be protected.
and they're so wrapped up in their mental
Yes.
health issues
Yeah.
that they will literally do anything to achieve that goal, and it's
And to get to the victim.
to do this kind of stuff.
Yes.
So for their protection, they have to go a little over the top on
We
on,
do. We
on,
have
on
to
that
keep
kind
that
of stuff.
confidentiality.
So please understand when they tell you no sometimes.
Yeah, it's not a personal thing. It's a federal thing.
Because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
these people living in this home are priority
Yes.
one. And that's what everything we're doing here is about. So
Yes.
anything that goes against their health and safety,
Yes.
we're not going to participate in.
Even if the police come and say, and that's why I say it's a federal thing, is they are protected, that confidentiality,
It's like your lawyer or your doctor. The same kind of thing.
Those victims, we have to keep that confidence.
Absolutely. But that being said, don't let that deter you from helping out.
No.
If you want to show your heart and show ways to help these people, please do that. Please reach out, call.
Yes.
I don't hesitate to call the office and say, "Hey, I heard you on the radio. I hear you. What's like the go-to supplies? What are you short staffed on?"
And
or
it's
short
almost
on?
Halloween.
Yeah.
I know people have been dropping off some goodies, for the
Absolutely.
kids. And
Yeah, don't forget there's lots of kids. There's lots of, and so even like presents, we're getting into the holiday season,
Yes.
toys, things like that.
Yes.
Now's a good time to start doing that because they want to make sure every child and family that is in that
Yes.
home during the holidays has a Christmas or has
Yeah.
a Thanksgiving or
and
has.
I think a toy drive is something we should do this Christmas.
Yeah.
I think
So
that'd be wonderful.
put that on the brain
'Cause we
too
have
while you're
had
out shopping.
a lot of children
Yeah.
in shelter.
And when you get and you get all kids all ages from
Yes.
from newborns to
18,
17 almost
yes.
18-year-old kids here. So think of what all ages like. And so, but please, and don't hesitate to call the refuge, the office to ask about that kind of stuff. They'd
Please
be
do.
happy. There's two different. There's the home, and that's where all the good work happens. And then there's the office, and that's where you go to
Yes.
get your restraining orders, or
Yes.
if you have business with
Or
the,
do your
the
groups,
refuge.
do your
That's-
intake
Yeah,
with
the
me.
meetings and stuff
Yes.
are all there too.
And
so.
that's 624-3222.
The phone number.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
the
the
address.
phone number. No. I should have said that. We're on radio. And it's 1215 North Garden is our admin address. So.
Absolutely. So please,
Yes.
Please reach out. Please come out. And then, of course, October 17th
Yes,
is
Thursday.
our Say My Name Candlelight
Remember
Vigil
My
event.
Name Day.
Remember My
Yeah.
Name. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm a little more aggressive.
Thinking
say
of the-
my name.
yeah,
but,
say my name.
But it is happening at the Anderson Museum.
It
What
is.
time is everything starting on the 17th there?
5:30.
5:30 p.m.
Yes.
And they
We
go.
say 5:30 to 7, but it kind of wraps up
It
in
kinda-
an hour.
Yeah, it's kind of, well,
yeah. It depends who wants to
to
stay
be honest,
and talk.
it's where everyone's emotional levels are at.
Yes.
If you're like, I've taken it enough
Lots of
tonight, let's
tissues.
go look at some
Yes.
art.
Yeah,
You
let's
know what
go
I mean?
eat dinner.
It's as long as it needs to be.
Yes.
That's a good thing to say.
I love that.
It's as long as it needs to be.
Yes. That's true. Yeah, because sometimes it does run over.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely. And in other years, like,
Yeah.
but either way, come early, stay late, and enjoy the museum while you're
Yes.
at it too. So good deal.
Please do.
And give out the crisis number one more time if you don't mind, Lauren.
It's 575-627-8361.
Call that 24/7.
365.
There's help on the other side of that line, whether you want
If
information.
you need to get into shelter, seek
Whatever
out
it
that
is,
number
you can-
so they
you
can tell
can
you if
do.
they have room.
Absolutely. If you make a phone call,
Yeah.
then we'll get the ball rolling.
And if you're in another city too, I mean, and I joke, we get plenty of phone calls for Roswell, Georgia. So sometimes we have to weed those out. But, if you're in another city and need resources,
Absolutely.
or maybe you're
you partner up. Like,
trying to get away from another city to Roswell.
yeah, like
See if we
was
have
it
room.
last month or whatever? We had Grammy's house partner with you guys, and we were
Yes.
on together, and
Yes.
and
We
every
love Grammys.
those Grammys and the Refuge are the same thing. Just one's in Eddy County, one's in Travis
Yes.
County. That's pretty much the
Yeah.
difference.
Yes, for sure.
They do great work, and of course,
They
me
do.
doing the Artesia show for years.
Yeah.
I talked with her for many years,
Yes.
Selena
Yeah.
over there, and
Selena's wonderful.
Yeah, she's good people too. So absolutely. Did we get it all?
I think so.
Excellent. Well, thank you as always.
You're welcome.
We'll see you
I
next
tried
time.
the Oreos.
What do you think?
They're weird.
You did say lemon. I heard you say they do.
Yes,
they do
they
have a
did.
lemon taste
Yes.
to them. I
Yeah.
guess that's just something they put
And
in
the
sodas.
Coke a Coke tastes more like the Oreo.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's not.
nice to try new things.
It's an Oreo, and you can eat the whole box because it's Oreos. But
Yeah.
for terms of Oreos, not their best one.
No, for sure.
But thank you, Lauren.
You bet, sir. Thank you so much.
I was like, take those back, but no, we don't want to do that today. All right, it is 8:59. Once again, I'm late to the game, and I didn't get to do what I wanted to do. So let's do this quick commercial break before we get to news. Don't go away.
The Eastern New Mexico State Fair and the Hondo Rodeo Company present the 3rd annual Pecos Valley Stampede, October 4th and 5th, 6 p.m. at the Bob Crosby Arena north of the fairgrounds, featuring trailer loading, open ranch bronc riding, daily knot tying, stray gathering, and wild cow milking, plus calf scramble, mutton busting, and mini bull riding for the kids. And admission to the rodeo is free with your paid admission to the fair. Call 575-910-4962 to get your team signed up. The 3rd annual Pecos Valley Stampede Ranch Rodeo, October 4th and 5th at the Bob Crosby Arena, and paid for by the City of Roswell Lodgers Tax.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Slugs have 4 noses, but no fingers to pick them. Here's Mike Winters.
We're closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News is up next. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The Hurricane Helene death toll, at least 166 as crews continue searching for the missing, and survivors struggle to obtain the basics, things like food and water. Today, President Biden will visit the Carolinas. He'll take an aerial tour of the devastation.
North Carolina resident Robin Wynn says she's lucky she evacuated.
I didn't know where I was going. Didn't know what was going to happen next, but I got out and I'm alive, and I'm very blessed.
Many in both states without running water, cell service, electricity, food and water remain an issue.
I think this is the worst. A lot of people have seen it.
FEMA Administrator Frank Matranga telling residents assistance is available.
We've registered over 150,000 households for assistance and already provided over $2 million directly to disaster survivors.
The cost of the storm damage across the southeast estimated in the billions. I'm Julie Walker.
And then there's another hurricane, this one named Kirk.
The maximum sustained winds have increased to 80 miles per hour, and we're expecting that the storm will strengthen significantly over the next couple of days and probably become a major hurricane by tomorrow. However, the storm is moving northwestward out over the open ocean, and the current forecast is that the storm is going to stay well away from land for the foreseeable future.
The National Hurricane Center's Jack Bevan says Kirk is way out in the middle of the tropical Atlantic. Federal prosecutors say they may bring additional charges against New York City Mayor Eric Adams and indict others in the corruption case against him. That surfaced today at a federal court hearing in Manhattan, saying that he is busy running the city. Adams insisting that he is innocent. Watching Wall Street this hour, stocks currently are in the red. The Dow is down 11 points, the Nasdaq off 2, the S&P 5 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey folks, Donald Trump Jr. here. Let me ask you this.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300.
What about the U.S.
Call
role
us
in
right
helping
now.
Israel fend off that Iranian missile attack?
The Pentagon says Iran fired almost 200 missiles. The president says they are still assessing the impact.
Based on what we know now, the attack appears to have been defeated and ineffective.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu thanked the U.S. for its support. He says Iran made a big mistake tonight and it will pay for it. The president was asked about an Israeli response.
We've been in constant contact with the Israeli government and our counterparts, and that remains to be seen.
Iran says the attack was retaliation for attacks by Israel that killed leaders of Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Iranian military. Ed Donahue, Washington.
Thai police have arrested the driver of a bus carrying young students and teachers and caught fire, killed 23 in suburban Bangkok as families arrived to help identify their loved ones. News and analysis, townhall.com. A Big Three automaker offering a special accommodation for those who have faced a major health challenge.
As we enter Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Ford Motor Company is offering a new seat belt to help those who've received mastectomies due to breast cancer. The company says the support belt was designed by a Ford marketing partner after she was diagnosed with cancer and had a double mastectomy. Ford says the new seat belt is made from a soft, breathable foam that fastens to the seat belt to relieve pressure and reduce discomfort on the person's chest. Tasha Stevens reporting.
Voting is starting in the annual Fat Bear Week contest at Alaska's Katmai National Park. Viewers are able to pick their favorite among a dozen brown bears fattened up to survive the winter. The contest now in its 10th year. It celebrates the resiliency of the 2,200 brown bears living in the preserve. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Trace and Piernos
of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday. Happy Fair Day. Senior Day at the fair today.
Yes.
3 to 6 this afternoon. Seniors, if you're 55 and older, you can get into the fair for free during that time. They will have golf carts beginning at 3 o'clock. Meeting you at the gate if you so choose to use. That'll take you to the education building, and they'll have a little shindig there for you. And then, of course, now everything at the fair, really, the education building, livestock shows, they're going to be open at 3 o'clock. But that's about it at 3, other than the senior, what's going on in the education building. But at 4 o'clock, so if you get there at 3 o'clock, you can kind of go and do some of the stuff at the education building, maybe go wander over to the livestock arena. And then at 4 o'clock, the commercial building will open up, the rides will start going, and all the other fair things will start firing up. Concerts, of course, tonight, everything else too out there. So, but if you get in at like 3, you go get your ride, and the carts will be there from 3 to 6, ushering folks that need them, seniors that need them back and forth. Seniors that need them, not just because you don't feel like doing it.
Consider it your own fair Uber.
Yeah.
Fuber, if you will.
Fuber. I like Fuber.
Fuber.
Of course, that's close to Fubar, and you don't want that.
Yeah, you don't want Fubar. If your Fuber goes Fubar, then you're... Yeah.
Anybody that's watched Big Trouble in Little China or spent any time in the military knows what Fubar means. I think it may have shown up in a few other movies.
It's popped up a couple
The first time
times.
I saw it was Big Trouble in Little China. Remember that movie?
Vaguely.
It was Kurt Russell and who was the other guy? There's another big name action star that era that it just escaped my head.
Probably.
It just went right out of my head, and I cannot remember for the life of me who the other guy with Kurt Russell is in Big Trouble in Little China. Is it?
It would be...
not Van Damme, but it was someone of that level. Now I got to know now.
So here's the cast as listed: Kurt Russell, Dennis Dunn, Victor Wong, James Hong, Kim Cattrall, Susie Pai, Carter Wong, Peter Kwong, James Pax, Al Leong, David Lin, Kate Burton.
There's some big names in there, but I could have sworn the bad guy was like a big name too. Maybe just at the time, and I don't know. I haven't seen that movie in 30 years.
Yeah, it's Kurt Russell and a lot of Asians.
I feel like there was...
Which makes sense
because
it's
called
Little
Big Trouble in
China.
Little China, yeah.
Right.
I forgot Kim Cattrall was in it, to be honest. Of course, she's from Sex and the City. I know her from Mannequin, the movie Mannequin, if you remember that movie. That's how
And we can build this dream together, stand it strong forever. That song is ubiquitous with that movie for me.
Yeah. And to be honest, that movie I confuse sometimes, the Mannequin movie. But then there was another movie that came out right around that same time that starred, I feel like, one of the Brat Pack adjacent kids.
Okay.
And he's locked in a Target, and he has to live in the Target and do the Target. And in my head, there's scenes from that movie and Mannequin that blend together, where he's living in the Target while the other guy's, falling in love with a mannequin in the department store in New York City.
That's I'm not familiar with that one either.
I don't remember the name of it. You know who's in it? McDreamy, I think. The guy that plays what's his name?
Career Opportunities?
Maybe. I don't remember the name of the movie.
1991.
But it stars
night shift custodian Jim Frank Wally is accidentally locked up alone in the store he cleans. He realizes he has access to the entire building and decides to indulge in the abundance of free food and merchandise at his fingertips.
Well, it's the actor is I don't know if it's McDreamy or McSteamy or did the cast
McDermott?
No, the main
Dermot Mulrooney's in it.
Okay, who was the main? Maybe he's the main kid. I thought it was
Well, the main kid is Frank, who's played by Jim Dodge.
Okay, I'm mistaken then. I was thinking
no, he plays Jim Dodge. Frank Wiley is.
I was thinking the guy that
Jennifer Connelly's in it.
Jennifer Connelly?
Is that the same movie you're talking about?
I don't know if this are they in a Target? I don't know if this is the same
that
movie.
was locked up in a
maybe it is, but I could have sworn it was I can't remember his name. But when the Chicago doctor show that all McDreamy, McSteamy, he's one of those.
Hold on.
I thought.
Dang it. My phone's being silly.
Maybe I'm wrong, though. I may have misremembered it. It's been a long, long time, and I was a child when I watched this. So but I remember those two movies were played at nauseum on HBO around the same time. And I think
it just says career. This keeps coming up, career opportunities.
It must be it. I'm just mistaken. I misremembered the actor. I was thinking it was the dude from, and I can't remember his name either.
Well, I mean, when you're locked inside of a target, that's a pretty standard or a pretty unique.
Well, it almost like it's almost like I feel like Mr. Beast watched this movie and got inspiration to do some of his bits from this movie. Because it's literally like that. He's living in the Target, and he's like living life in the sporting goods store, grilling up hot, meats. And
I don't know if this was like a common kid fantasy, but I definitely had that fantasy a few times. You'd be like, if I just hid in this bathroom stall until they closed down, I bet I could then have run of the store.
I would absolutely, like if a Mr. Beast-like person came to me and said, can you live in this store for a year or a month or whatever, I would accept that challenge, and I think I could do it.
I think I could do it.
I could. Now, the two things that would make it much easier, and I know this may not sound right, but for me, one, it's got to be me. You can't be pairing me with a stranger or anybody else.
Yeah, just you by yourself.
Gotta be me, and because that way I can do it, and I don't have to deal with that's gross or that's. Because
I'm annoyed by you after week 2,
like
stuff like
if
that.
you put me to my own devices in a room full of just things and say, I will figure it out. I will find things and I will make things. This is the beauty of me and my childhood, where where as kids we're basically taking toilet paper rolls and making games out of it and doing things. That skill set I acquired as a child has served me well as an adult.
Well, I've often said that if I was ever put into a solitary confinement situation, at least for a little while, I feel like I would be okay because I know how to entertain myself. And I've never heard it more succinctly put than by my now 6-year-old son.
All right.
Who last week said he was talking about something that he had seen and how there's a little him inside of his brain and there's a TV inside of his brain, and he watches all these clips that he's seen over and over again inside of his brain. The little man inside of his brain, who's him, is watching these clips. And I'm like, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly it. There's a little dude inside my brain who just over and over watches like Family Guy clips and can just quote them ad nauseum.
I think you just revealed a story of why it's awesome being a dad.
Yeah.
You get those moments around, this is my boy.
Yeah. It was clarity. I was like,
that's one of those moments.
You put it in a way that I don't think I could have ever done because I'm trying to make it sound like grown up, like with regular. I couldn't say there's a little me inside my brain watching a TV I put up there.
Sure,
but to him it makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And that's and to me that's such a deep thought from a now 6-year-old. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty good. So,
yeah.
I say now 6. He had a birthday. But that's cool. I love that. And it's to me. That's how I navigate life. I know I do. I have the most extroverted job for a living. I'm pretty introverted in real life. Or when I turn this mic off, I'm an introverted dude.
Once we get done doing this thing, it's kind of more of just like a.
Yeah, I'm the fly on the wall. I don't want to be the center of attention. I just want to sit and eat popcorn and watch the thing unfold.
I love to just watch life happen before me and just people watch. Put myself in their scenarios.
I'm that guy. I could easily. You put me in a relatively busy park and just sit me on a bench. I'll spend the afternoon and have just a fine time. As long as it's cool. As long as I'm not hot or hungry or have to go to the bathroom. I could sit there all day and enjoy.
Last night it's just kind of related to this. Last night, which by the way, the Big Blue Brand Wagon is out at the Eastern New Mexico State Fair. Be on the eye out for it, and it's the all new Big Blue Brand Wagon, complete with TVs on both sides.
It's TV'd up now.
That's right. So one side last night we were playing the Market Goat Show from the fair. The other side we were playing the Roswell High volleyball game. I'm gonna let you venture to guess which side got the most attention. Claudia and I would be doing a break, and we'd look back, and there'd just be a group of dudes standing around the TV.
They're high school kids, you perv.
Well, they were high school kids.
Oh, okay, never mind.
It was high schoolers.
Gawk on.
I should clarify.
That's right. You go ahead and gawk.
It was a group of high school age kids, and they were just like sitting there, obviously admiring the form of volleyball,
Right.
the sport, you know.
I get it. If I was a 16-year-old boy, I would have been parked right there, too.
And I didn't even realize until, because Claudia looked back and she goes, "What's on this side?" I'm like, "The volleyball game." And she's like, "Yeah, that tracks."
Yeah. You know what? If I was a 16-year-old, I would have been totally staring there, too. And they would have been like, "Come on, let's go. Wait, this is a good game.
Hold on.
When did you care about volleyball?" Yeah.
Go on without me.
Yeah, I get it. So you got to come by tonight. Pop up and see what's on. You're not on tonight, right? It's Chris tonight.
It's Crash Test Chris and Miss Claudia.
I knew that because I know what also Wednesday night is.
Yes, sir.
And so it's wrestling night. Sean is not going to be at the fairgrounds on wrestling.
Well, no, even if I was, I'd just be watching wrestling on my phone.
Or put on one of them TVs.
I'd cast to it. That would be great, actually. That would be fantastic.
He's just sitting there. You missed a drop off, so I was watching wrestling outside.
Just bring me my mic. They're doing a cage match.
But then you're going to get a cease and desist because you're broadcasting to the public a private thing. But anyway, that's a whole nother story.
They heard too much on the air.
But anyway, yeah, get out. And like I said, senior days today, 3 o'clock. They'll have the carts and everything. Please get out there and enjoy the fair.
Yes, sir.
So, and I don't have the list on that there's concerts tonight. I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know.
Concerts tonight are, what is that? It's that Britney band.
Okay.
Killing Britney or...
Okay.
Yeah, it's that band. It's the first band. And then the Taylor Swift tribute band.
Is that tonight?
Is tonight.
Okay, I can remember that was tonight or tomorrow. I was like, is that Thursday or Wednesday?
That is tonight.
Okay.
Although actually that might be tomorrow night.
In my head, I have it as Thursday, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm not 1,000% certain of my guess. I just think in my head I remember reading.
Here's what you do. You log on to enmsf.com. They've got the full schedule, the fair book, everything you need to know.
Yeah, if I didn't have to stop and type, because I can't talk and type very well at the same time.
We're real bad at
go
it.
Look at it. I'm not I can't walk and chew bubble.
I start either typing the word that I'm saying or hearing.
Yeah.
Or I will do the exact opposite and say the words that I'm typing.
That's why Sean does all my looking up stuff while I talk.
I am generally the looking up guy.
So let me give you the rundown for this hour. We got a full slate for you. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a bit. Then Mary Gonzalez is going to join us here in just a few minutes. Of course, her awesome late husband Johnny was a staple on this show, doing his Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners. Of course, Mary's continuing the tradition of her husband, and she's got her back to school drive going on right now, and so she's trying to collect school supplies and trying to get some of that going on. So she needs your help from the public. So Mary's going to join us on the radio here in just a bit to chit chat about that.
Absolutely. By the way,
yes.
I was wrong. Tonight it's The Groove over on the big stage at 5:30.
Okay.
And then Proud Pete, followed by the NMSU Band at 8:30 and 10:30 respectively.
Oh, cool.
The
The NMSU Band's going to be there?
Tomorrow night, it's Britney's Rage at 7:30 or 7 o'clock. And then at 9 o'clock, the Twist on Taylor concert.
Okay, so we were a day ahead of ourselves on that one. So come out. So, yeah, NMSU Band, they also submitted... I wonder if they'll do the Metallica.
Oh, that's right.
Because they submitted a Metallica performance, and they got into the top.
ENMU was the winner, weren't they?
I think they didn't win. Like, they were one of the winners. Like they got prize money.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure NMSU submitted one too.
Okay.
And this was a year ago or so,
about a year
whatever.
ago. Almost
the band
day,
Metallica. They offered up like $100,000 and a bunch of stuff for band programs if they did a contest where. They did a set of Metallica songs, and Metallica put their sheet music up, put the songs that they gave them all the material to put on a performance, and then there was a contest, and you could watch. There was hundreds of universities and high schools all over the country that were doing their band performances at halftimes at various sporting events, and of course our schools participated. But yeah, it was really cool to do.
I would bet if you go back and look now, those. Drill sets, those field placements, and those drill sets are probably now copywritten and in the registry.
Probably.
To where schools nationwide can purchase that Metallica program. And what it is like when you're like a march, because when you get purchase a marching band set, you purchase It's usually 3 songs and a drum feature.
Okay.
And it includes the music, it includes the planograms, the field placements for all of the different sets you want to perform. But that's all in one like encompassed package that you purchase.
Okay.
So I would bet that now, if that's a copywritten thing, that the school that created it probably gets royalties.
Yeah. And I know with Metallica, they didn't have a program per se. They just put the music out and said, here's the songs that we're letting you use.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot, so they didn't give them all. And so they allowed the each band department to basically, this list of however many songs they gave them, create a show based off that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know the ENMU one was excellent with they did a version of it wasn't Puppets. They played it, but there was a version of, I can't remember what song it was now, and they did an amazing.
It wasn't one.
No, I don't think it was one. It was one of our. It's a hit. I know it, but it's not one of their ones that is like, unless you're a Metallica fan, you probably don't know the song. It was one of those ones like that, and I don't remember, but I was blown away by it. I remember watching. I was like, wow, that was.
I'll have to find those sets because you can. They're still out there.
Yeah, they're on the website.
The actual performances.
Anyway, but yeah, it's worth a check out. So anyway, go out and watch the bands tonight. That'd be fun.
Yes, indeed.
It is 9:21. Let's go ahead and pause for your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Strong high pressure in place over the southwestern states, and it looks like that'll be hanging around for a while. The jet stream pattern is way off to the north, so we won't see any big changes around here. Upper 80s for the high today, and we get sunshine. The wind will stay fairly light, though. Clear and mid-50s for the overnight hours, and then we're in the low 90s for the high on Thursday, and sunny upper 80s Friday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 66 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 36%. Winds currently calm at the moment. That's nice. Sunny today, 89. So right there near 90 expected. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear tonight, looking at an overnight low of 55 degrees. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. A little warmer tomorrow. Sunny, 94 for a high expected. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear tomorrow night with an overnight low of 57 degrees. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny. Once again, 89, right around 90. North winds at around 5 miles per hour. And then for the weekend on Saturday, sunny skies, 91, the expected high there. Sunny on Sunday as well with a high right around 90. It looks like upper 80s, 90 going into next week as well, too. All right, 9:23, we're going to take a 2.5-minute commercial break, and then Mary Gonzalez will join us on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
At Artesia General Hospital, we know it's early, but schedule your mammogram today and save. Call 855-RAD-EXAM and save 10% off mammograms scheduled through October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And get a refreshing drink discount from Kith & Kin in Artesia or Blue House in Carlsbad. We use leading-edge, FDA-approved Genius 3D mammography technology to deliver more accurate results faster and with more comfort. Women over 40 do not need a referral for yearly screenings. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
When seconds matter and your family's in danger, who do you count on? Law enforcement and brave first responders. What if I told you that Congressman Gabe Vasquez has voted to defund the police, to stop the hiring of new Border Patrol agents, and reduce the sentences for dangerous criminals? This is Sheriff Mark Cage, and I am tired of people like Gabe Vasquez lying to us. Gabe talks a big game here in New Mexico, but his actions in Washington tell a very different story. We need a leader like Yvette Harrell in Congress. That's why law enforcement stands with her. Yvette is endorsed by the New Mexico Sheriff's Association, Albuquerque Police Officers Association, and the Border Patrol Union. It takes courage to stand up for what is right, and Gabe Vasquez doesn't have it. And when minutes matter and your life's on the line, Gabe Vasquez won't support those who answer the call, like me or my deputies. Stand with law enforcement and vote with me for Yvette Harrell.
I'm Yvette Harrell, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Yvette Harrell for Congress.
You there! What are these?
My glasses, Your Highness. They're
incredible. Who made these?
The eyesight in Roswell. Or was it Hobbs? Or maybe Carlsbad.
So well crafted and stylish. So, the eyesight thinks they can challenge my throne with their quality eyewear.
Actually, Your Majesty, I got 2 pair and an eye exam. It was so easy. I did it during my lunch break, and they even took my insurance.
Lunch break? Who gave you a lunch break?
Human resources, Your Majesty.
Silence! I'll get you eyesight!
The Eyesight, now accepting new patients 5 and up in Roswell, Hobbs, and Carlsbad.
3 locations?
Clearly the best in sight.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Sigmund Freud once believed that cocaine could be used to help treat a morphine addiction. Mike used bacon to get over his addiction to beef. Here's Mike Winters.
And it didn't work because I eat beef and bacon equally as frequently here. Good morning. It is 26 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio, pull that microphone up just a little closer to you, Mary. I forgot to tell you that part. You got to eat the mics when we get here. But
I'm hungry.
Well, take a bite. I cannot guarantee the taste. But joining us in studio this morning, of course, Mary Gonzalez is back. You've been on, but it's been a while since we've had you on this show. Yeah. Of course, many folks probably remember your late husband, Johnny, who was a staple on this show every Thanksgiving and Christmas and back to school time during the summer. Johnny was on just doing his community volunteer program. You know, whether it's Thanksgiving getting turkeys or collecting pencils and paper in the summer for school time. You know, your family and Johnny at the head there has been doing this for years.
Yes.
And now, of course, Mary, you've taken over. Now, your grandson, Josiah, are you kind of running because I see you got director, so I think you're...
Yeah, I'm the director, yeah.
You know, she's telling you what to do, but you're kind of the... kind of running. I know the real...
yeah. Everybody points there like, yep, I'm the guy that has a voice a little bit from the background.
Excellent. So we're joined by Josiah, your grandson, and director of the community volunteer program as well, that you your family have made it a point saying, you know, we're keeping Johnny's passion going.
Yes.
And keeping, his spirit and his name alive through this organization.
Yes, we've really enjoyed it, and we enjoyed you helping us out and being a blessing to us throughout the years.
And what I've always loved about your husband and your family is you guys just, it doesn't matter. It's like, hey, people need things. We just got to figure out a way to get things.
Yes.
You know,
Exactly.
and when if you spend any time in the nonprofit world, one of the biggest hurdles you hit is red tape and regulations because you got to protect and things.
Yep.
And your husband and your family over the years are like, yeah, okay, we'll do what we can there, but we're doing this because people need food, people need help, and I don't care if I've got to. You know, okay, so I can't do it at this building because we don't do this. Fine, but we're going to do it out in a park somewhere. We're going to do it. You know, that's something that your family's always been. Is I don't care. I mean, yeah, we're making sure everybody's safe and healthy, and we're not doing that kind of stuff. But at the same time, we're not letting red tape stop us from helping people. And that's kind of what you're you're kind of true to heart right now, keeping that tradition going with your back to school supplies and stuff. You know, I know, granted, we're 2 months into school here, but families that need school supplies all year round. Pencils break. Paper gets lost.
Yes.
You know, backpacks get lost, stolen, fall apart. You know, things happen.
Yeah.
But they still got to go to school, and they're still expected to have these things. So it's kind of nice that, you know, we all think about this in August, but no one's thinking about it in October and January. No. And so that's where you guys come in.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing it, because I've gotten a couple of calls, and people don't have backpacks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they don't have school supplies. They don't have the funds. They're either moving in town, and all that money is used to move in town and get their house.
Absolutely. Oh, by the way, they got the rest of their life to figure out. And and families that are living paycheck to paycheck, and there's a lot of them. All of us have been there, or maybe are there currently, or been there at some point. Mm-hmm. You know, when anything extra that happens, it blows the budget. And school supplies, Christmas, Thanksgiving, these are the kind of things that are families that are barely scraping by. This is what breaks the bank, because they can't afford to. And then, you know, and so this is and this is where the Gonzalez family comes in and says, all right, let's help out with that.
Yes.
You know?
And I really appreciate so far, I'll put Hanan. Hanan has been a help to us. She is a manager at Red Lobster.
Okay.
Throughout the years, she's brought her staff and herself to do the kitchen for us.
That's so amazing.
And she brings her own
And they do it
stuff.
out of their own kindness of their heart.
Yes.
They're not expected to. Ain't nobody at Red Lobster
No.
telling them they got to do this. They're doing it because they live here and they want a great community. And that's
yes,
awesome.
Yes, they do. And to feed others, she loves community services.
That's amazing. And because of people like that, and your family's lumped in there as well. That's why, we have such a great community. It's because of things like this.
I love the community.
you know.
I love it because people hear about it and then they start giving by either school supplies, monetary donation, because they can't go out, okay? Or they don't have time. They got jobs, you know.
Or they don't have the money. Because
Exactly.
literally, like I said,
Yes.
bills are paid, but anything extra ain't going to happen right now.
No.
And unfortunately, school supplies and things like that fall into those categories.
Yes, they do.
So, because if it comes to means of paying for dinner or paying for medicine or getting the kids pencils, they're paying for the medicine, they're paying for the dinner, the food. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why extra helps. This is why if you have the means, people that, you're a little bit better place.
Mm-hmm.
Buy some school supplies, could dump them off here or offer
Yes.
services. Like if there's a lot of help that you guys could need. Facilities, storage, to disbursement, to collections.
Yes.
There's a lot of different logistical avenues that volunteers, people that would like to help out, you could have a place for.
Yes,
Yes.
I do, definitely. A lot of staff have left, in the past when Johnny passed away, and that's because work.
Well, and I'm going to take a stab is once Johnny passed, most people kind of forgotten a little bit about the community volunteer program. It's kind of, that was fun while it lasted, but Johnny's not here no more, therefore it's not available. And you're kind of saying, no, that's what we're, okay, Johnny was probably better at this than all of us, but we're going to try real hard to fill Johnny's shoes here, and we're doing our thing, and I think you're doing a great job. But I am not going to lie, no one beat your husband, Johnny. He was a master at this.
No, he was. Yes. And he had the whole family behind him. Let me tell you, I hated publicity.
Yeah.
Not Johnny.
Johnny, no.
No,
Johnny
was
looked for a camera.
always-
Yes. First thing he sees in the whole room. Yep.
But he did that with every facet of his life, from community volunteer to prison ministry to everything in his aspects of life. That's what he did. So.
Well, we were going into the prison about in 22, I think it was, but COVID hit in 20, and they closed
Put a kibosh on a lot of
everything,
stuff.
and also the buildings were closed down. We just weren't able to. We weren't. That's the main reason.
Yeah, and now
But
now you're trying to get back in the world and getting things going again. And right now, we're doing school supplies because that's where the need is right now.
And the reason right now is because a lot of people weren't able to do it. Maybe a couple, but not really.
Well, in the school year, because it started early, it like the calendar of how events happen was thrown off a little bit here.
Yes.
And then again, getting back to my point, if you are living paycheck to paycheck, I mean, even when it's in the normal time, it's tough to do it. But then when it's at a time when it's not expected or not able to plan for, then it creates a bigger need and a bigger, and that's kind of to your point here, even more so this year because of the schedule and the way things happen and the other aspects of life.
Yes.
There are many families here that didn't get a chance or didn't get a big enough chance to prepare their kids for school this year.
Exactly.
And so we want to help them do that.
And I got a letter from the Roswell Independent School District. They approved for me to take on flyers for needy children.
Excellent.
So, there's going to be a few.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So schools are working with you to try to
that
help
was
address
going
this
to-
need as
yes,
well too.
yes,
So, and that's great because guess who knows who needs? It's
Yes.
the teachers. It's the people that see these kids every day, that deal with these kids every day, that know exactly what's going on in these kids' lives and know exactly where. As my wife, a teacher, I know exactly how it is.
Oh,
she knows
yes.
exactly where her kids
Yes.
are and where they come from and what they need and what they're missing. They know.
Yes, yes, they do.
Because quite frankly, especially at the early elementary level, the person that spends more time with your kid than you is that teacher.
Yes, that's
It
very
seems
true.
like they're raising them, huh?
It's like the second mom of them, yeah.
Exactly. So that's great that the RSD's there because that and you get the teachers there, and now you can get the specifics like, hey,
Yes.
Sue needs shoes. Bobby needs a notebook. Let's get what we can do to do that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And then Walmart, they sponsored us too. And
Well, Walmart Senior Circle has helped us out with
a
collecting.
lot.
Yes.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Brooks, oh my God.
Okay.
Yes.
And she said she'll have these elderly people do
Excellent.
the backpack if I want to.
So big
fill
thank
them
you
up.
to the hospital because for folks that don't know, Senior Circles is a part of Eastern New Mexico
Yes,
Medical
with
Center,
Brooks.
the hospital, and Brooke Lith to come over there. So big thank you for them to also rallying and supporting you guys here and helping out too. And I'll put the plug out. If there's other businesses or organizations listening, maybe you dealt with Johnny in the past and you were helping out in that ways and that kind of stuff. Saying, oh, that's great. Mary's doing her thing. I'd like to help her out too. Reach out. Reach out to Josiah or Mary here and say, hey, I heard you guys on the radio this morning. It's not much, but we got a place if you want to store stuff or we got some school supplies. We'd love to donate. Whatever it is you can help. Trust me, we'll find a place for it.
Amen. Yes, amen.
Yeah, it's kind of, we have so many great organizations that do a lot of things in our community, but I really, really enjoy organizations much like yourself. I always talk about our Jocelyn Food Not Bomb. She does that where she shows up at the skate parks they'll collect food from places. And I love organizations like this because they're just doing everything they can to serve the needs and wherever the need is. They're like, there's no set organization or plan. It's not like, no, we're not going to create this event. We're just like, I don't know, there's a bunch of people are hungry. How do we get them food? Let's start rallying. And instead of, we're going to create this committee to do this, to do that, it's just, no, we're going to go start knocking on doors. We're going to start phone calls and we're going to start making things happen. And you do that. Food Not Bombs is another organization that does that. And that's why I like supporting organizations like it. Because at the end of the day, it's just people that said, something needs to be done. I'm tired of calling my whoever here to do something about it. I'm just going to do it. And that's what I love about it.
Yes, that's what we do Thanksgiving and Christmas. Exactly. And Hanan was going to do the Christmas dinner, but she has to have it open, and she wasn't able to.
Well, they're big logistical events to pull off, and not everybody's capable of doing it. And that's why that's why Johnny's a blessing, because he was one of those people that could make that happen no matter what. And so we keep that going. So please, folks, get back on the radar and start calling Josiah and Mary and start getting, all you folks that were working with Johnny over the years. We're I guess you could say creating the phoenix here out of the ashes and trying to, and recreate and continue the legacy that is Johnny and what he did for this community.
Give the phone number.
Okay. Well, her phone number, the special lady right here, Mary Gonzalez, is 575-626-9844. And me, this guy right here with the T-shirt, not the loud voice.
Now, if you need leg work done, call Josiah.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen? You're going to call Mary, and then Mary will call Josiah, and then Josiah will go do it. So they're going to cut out. Say Mary can stomp out another fire, and Josiah can take care of it.
I'm the muscles here. She's how it goes. The brawns and the brains. Yeah,
that's right. Brains, brawn. Training the brawn to be the brains down the road.
The
family tradition.
Yes, that's it. That's what I'm doing.
Absolutely. Him. So, but give out that phone number.
All right. My phone number is going to be 575-244-1729.
Excellent. And of course, and if you're in need, maybe you have needs and stuff, reach out. Maybe we can help you out with something. If you need touch of resources, or saying, I got a family that's having some issues, let's see if we can turn the workings of the Gonzalez family to help you.
Yes.
I always eat. God always provides.
Well, and that's just it. But here's the thing too, and this is where Johnny got it. You know how many problems you can solve over a burrito dinner or an enchilada plate? You know what I'm saying? How many conversations, how many life lessons you can share and bestow upon people over breaking bread together. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's and Johnny always got that. That's why Thanksgiving's so important. He didn't care if you wanted extra turkey. He didn't care where you came from. He didn't care if you were, you could pay your bills or you couldn't. He just you want to come eat and fellowship? Come eat and fellowship. I don't care if you're rich, you're poor, you could afford this dinner, you can't afford this dinner.
Yes.
You got a stomach, you got a mouth, you're a human, come on and have a meal with us.
We used to have a lot of elderlies too because their spouse died.
Yeah.
And
that's just it. And holidays are that worst time of year for people that have lost people or that are alone on the holidays. And sometimes having a meal together and sharing God's love.
Johnny decided to go on November 25th, right on Thanksgiving.
Well, I think he went because he knew his work was done.
Yes.
He said, you know what? I've done all I can do. It's time to pass the baton.
Yes.
Yeah, and we did. But
God called him for other things, bigger and better, wherever that is.
Yes.
A whole lot better where he's at.
Where they put him. I don't know how that works. I don't know if they station him on another, I don't know how that works. I'll find out soon enough.
Yes.
But please reach out. If you don't mind, Josiah, give out that phone number one more time.
Okay. Like I said, this lady right here, Mary Gonzalez, my grandma, her number's going to be 575-626-9844. And me, the guy, like he says, the bronze, 575-244-1729.
Very good. And if you can help out with school supply donations or logistical stuff or any of those kinds of things, or if you've got resources to provide or share. And we're talking, and I say school supplies, I would even throw in, if you've got shoes, clothing, things like that, all of that, we can find someone that needs. So if you got some of that stuff that's clean, serviceable, good, please don't think of us as your place to dump your crap, because that's what the dump's for.
Yeah.
But if it's good stuff, please donate.
Yes.
And if you're residential, they'll do it for free, so you don't have to worry about dumping it off here. But if you got good stuff, good equipment, or if you want to buy new school supplies, go to the store, go hit your Walmarts and Targets or whatever, and go buy up notebooks and pencils and glue and backpacks and all that good stuff, and reach out to Josiah or Mary here, and we'll figure a way to get it to them and all that good stuff.
Yes.
So excellent. Anything we missed? Anything you wanted to share that we just spaced on, or I started talking about something else on?
No, yeah. Well, the location's going to be at the American Legion Post 28.
Yeah, that was probably important information. I should
right
not,
there, like we're supposed to be at.
Yeah. So that would be called vital information.
Yes.
That'll be at the Post 28 there on Missouri, at the American Legion there.
It's going to be October the 12th, 12:30 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Okay, so is that what, next week or a week after? It's coming up here.
It's coming up.
I know we're on the second. We're about 10 days out.
Yes.
So from the event here. So
next week.
But please gather your school supplies, get it on out, and then of course, like you said, come out to the American Legion on October 12th here. It's the Post 28 there on Missouri. I don't remember the actual address, but it's right there in Missouri.
On Montana.
Montana. I'm sorry, not I got my M's wrong. Montana. Yeah, it's right down the street from the
Walk for Hope.
Walk for Hope, and the Joy Center and stuff's not too far away and all that.
Yeah,
It's right
and then
in that
we have drop-off locations. Right now we have the Pioneer Banks, all of them.
Okay.
And then we also have Family Dollar on North Main.
Okay.
And
so if you want to just pick up school supplies and drop them off at any of those locations, and I'll even say it here, if you got them, you bring it to this radio station, I'll make sure.
And the radio station too, and
We'll be
Red
happy.
Lobster too.
Yeah.
It's go ahead and just do what you want. If you mainly bring it here, if you want, you know, because.
Pro tip: if you do drop off your stuff at Red Lobster, drop it off before you eat. That way you don't get lobster butter all over the toys and the school supplies and stuff.
Nobody wants that.
No one wants butter all over their paper.
And eat the good food with it.
Right. Yes.
Absolutely. But thank you guys. Appreciate it. And hopefully see you guys more often now that we keep moving.
Oh, yeah. Now that COVID is gone, in the name of Jesus.
Game on, right?
Yeah.
Excellent.
It took off everything.
It does. It did. It people are, and we're still dealing with that too. I mean, we're talking about all this other stuff, and we're still dealing with COVID crap.
I know. The
It's
doctor
still a thing.
warns me. I say, well, I got God. I got to keep going.
Well, that's why I figure I was like, my time is my time. It gets me, and so be it. It is what it is. I got to keep doing what I'm doing till time not to do it anymore.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Until I can't.
Exactly. But thank you guys, and we'll see y'all next time, and we'll see you on the 12th.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes. Okay.
All right, it is 9:43. Let's pause for news, your Sean Hannity update. And I got time, Cowboys fans, so I'm going to get that Cowboys report into you as well. So we'll be back on the other side. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The Roswell Science and Art Festival is returning for its 5th year. Fun for all ages and learning at the Roswell Convention Center. It'll be Saturday, October 12th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The free community event is presented by the Roswell Museum, working with local and regional educational, science, and cultural leaders. This year's festival will explore the theme of land stewardship and the many ways we care for, utilize, and appreciate our New Mexico lands and waterways. During the event, visitors can learn about land and water conservation and management, farming and ranching, dark skies initiatives, outdoor recreation, and experience some returning favorites like robotics and drones. A Roswell man has been ordered to serve a life prison term, plus 6 years, for the murder of a 15-year-old boy a couple of years ago. 21-year-old Daniel Flores was convicted at trial for the killing of Damon Rodriguez. 2 others were injured in that shooting. Flores will be eligible for parole after serving 35 years. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
The truth and nothing but. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Harris and Biden have been too accommodating to the radical anti-Israel, anti-Semitic, pro-Hamas radicals that make up too big a part of their Democratic Party. And as a result, it has made the entire region and the entire world less safe, less secure, and it has made everything more dangerous. If you couple the radicalism of the mullahs in Iran with nuclear weapons, if that day ever comes, then I will tell you, we are at risk of a modern-day Holocaust. Their appeasement, their accommodation has failed, and it's now resulted in Israel fighting a four-front war.
Keeping you on the straight path. Later today, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
Hey everyone, Biden may have dropped out of the race, but he's not done just yet. Will he jam through his hidden tax trap at the last second, right before he goes, where he could raid your retirement funds, supercharge your income taxes, increase utility and gas prices, and inflate costs on things you need to live? Some or all of this could affect you or your family in one way or another. So if you want to wait and see, you may as well kiss your retirement savings goodbye. The good news is you can get prepared, but you better hurry. Reach out to Goldco today to learn how precious metals could help you protect yourself and your family. They're offering you a free 2024 gold and silver kit, plus up to a 10% instant match and bonus silver on qualified accounts. All you have to do is visit HannityGold.com. HannityGold.com. Your retirement funds, income taxes, gas prices could all be affected. Visit HannityGold.com. That's HannityGold.com.
Paid for by Goldco.
With your Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales. Injuries to both starting defensive ends have forced a roster move. Find out the name of the newest Cowboy right after this.
Whether you're getting ready to purchase a home, setting up a college fund for your kids, or preparing for retirement, you're working hard to live a life you love. And you deserve peace of mind knowing your home, loved ones, and future are protected. At SWBC, we can help you assess your personal situation and create a customized solution to make sure you're prepared for whatever life throws your way. Visit SWBC.com to learn about your mortgage, insurance, and wealth management options today. That's SWBC.com.
Cowboys Nation is big because everything's bigger in Texas. And Reliant has the energy to power it all. From home field advantage to home sweet home, Reliant has Dallas Cowboys fans all across the Lone Star State covered for every electric moment this season and beyond. Reliant, proud to be the official energy provider of your Dallas Cowboys.
Reliant, PUCT number 10007.
Cowboys starting defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence was placed on injured reserve yesterday, meaning he'll miss at least 4 games due to a sprained foot. Micah Parsons is sidelined with a high ankle sprain, hopefully for just a game or two. So the Cowboys added depth at the position by signing KJ Henry from the Bengals practice squad. Despite all the moves due to injury, starting defensive tackle Osa Odighizuwa knows nobody in the league is feeling sorry for the Cowboys.
It's just the nature of the beast. Injuries happen. Still got a job to do. And I just have no type of drop-off or anything like that. It's just next man up. Just making sure that we're holding it down, doing our job, and playing to the best of our ability for them, just so when they're coming back, they got something good to come back to.
Coming up Sunday, a road trip to take on the 3-1 Steelers. With your Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales.
And good morning. It is 9:49. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Strong high pressure in place over the southwestern states, and it looks like that'll be hanging around for a while. The jet stream pattern is way off to the north, so we won't see any big changes around here. Upper 80s for the high today, and we get sunshine. The wind will stay fairly light, though. Clear and mid-50s for the overnight hours, and then we're in the low 90s for the high on Thursday, and sunny upper 80s Friday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 66 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 36%. Winds are calm at the moment. Sunny and 89 today, pushing 90. It's going to be 90 even though it says 89. It's going to be 90. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear tonight, overnight low of 55 degrees. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny, a little warmer tomorrow, 94 the expected high. So it's going to be more like Monday tomorrow, which you felt yesterday is probably going to feel like tomorrow. Winds out of the south at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear skies, overnight low of 57 degrees, southeast winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny skies, 89, back down to 89 for a high with north winds at around 5 miles per hour. And then for the weekend, sunny Saturday, expect a high of 91, and then sunny on Sunday with highs near 90, and then looks like we'll be 88 on Monday, back to 90 on Tuesday. So I think next week, at least the first part, it's going to be more of what we're getting this week, which can't complain. It's pretty nice. I mean, we can nitpick, oh, it's warm on Monday, but compared to a month ago, not so bad. I'll take it. All right, you ready, Roy? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. All right, ready. Roy is ready. So let's do this. It's at 9:51. Let's go ahead and get you into your Chaves County Sports Report. That is brought to you by DSI. And right after that, we'll roll into your Wall Street Business Report, take a quick break, and then we'll wrap up the show. So, but first, your Chaves County Sports Report brought to you by DSI.
Running a business is tough. Operational demands change fast, and keeping up can feel impossible. That's where DSI comes in. We've been helping local businesses thrive for over 25 years. You might know us for printer products, but we're your one-stop shop for cutting-edge office technology. From managed IT to video security, audio-visual technology, and more, DSI has everything you need. We're flexible, local, and have the resources of a national corporation. Be more productive. Make more money. DSI, the heartbeat of business. Visit DSINM.com.
Most nice victory for the Roswell Coyotes yesterday at Hobbs in boys soccer. Roswell ends up tying the Eagles with a 2-2 count. Roswell had a 2-1 lead, but the Eagles got the tying goal in the second half, and then they went through 2 overtime periods without any resolution. Roswell now is 10-4-1 overall, 0-0-1 in district play. They'll play at Carlsbad Saturday at 1 o'clock. The Roswell girls, meanwhile, playing at home against Hobbs, fell by a 4-2 count. Roswell is now 7-8 on the season. They'll host Carlsbad this Saturday at 1 o'clock. Volleyball action last night. It was a good match between Goddard and Hobbs, but Hobbs wins on the Rockets' home court by a 3-2 count. Goddard is now 5-6. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Ahead of the government's September jobs report due out on Friday, payroll processor ADP is checking in with its own report. It says America's private sector employers added 143,000 jobs last month. Walmart employees and their dependents are being offered expanded cancer treatment with Mayo Clinic doctors through the retailer's insurance plan. The nation's largest private employer says covered employees diagnosed with most types of cancer will be able to get a second opinion from the Mayo Clinic and then travel to the clinic for treatment if need be. Oil prices have extended their recent gains after Iran fired missiles into Israel. The price for benchmark U.S. crude added 2.4% yesterday, and Brent crude, the international standard, rallied 2.6%. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
So your pecans aren't as big and bountiful as they used to be? Well, what would Jim Gill do?
Hi, this is Ben from Roswell Seed Company. Few people knew as much about pecans as Jim Gill. And if he were here today, he'd tell you it was time to fertilize. He'd tell you just what you need and show you how to use it. Then he'd make some joke about your neighbors making fun of your nuts.
So when there's trouble with your pecans, head for Roswell Seed Company and ask them, what would Jim Gill do?
Are you ready to succeed? Earn your FFA certification through ENMU Roswell's Aviation Maintenance Technology Program. ENMU Roswell has the only FFA Part 147 airframe and power plant school in Southeast New Mexico. Receive commercial and general aviation training, hands-on training with operation aircraft, Boeing commercial experience, advanced composite repair training, and more. And ENMU Roswell offers in-state tuition for veterans too. Learn more about this exciting program on campus or online at roswell.enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Success starts here.
At New Mexico Gas Company, we believe there's money hiding in your home. It's true. It's hiding in your insulation, in your water heater, and in your furnace. And New Mexico Gas Company can help you tap into that money with rebates up to $800 for high-efficiency natural gas improvements. Your energy costs will go down, and your wallet will thank you. We're New Mexico Gas Company, and we provide energy efficiency solutions to save you money. That's why we're here. Learn more at nmgcgetrebates.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The Goodyear Rubber Company researched and concluded that shoes wear out faster on the right foot than on the left. To fix this, just walk backwards for half the day. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:55. Got a few more minutes before the show gets kicked off the air, and we go over to Clay and Buck here in just a few minutes. But don't forget, tomorrow night is Artesia Bulldog football, not Friday night. Bulldogs. Is it Santee they traveled to? Yeah, I was like, I knew it was one of those schools down that area, but I was like, I think it's Santee. That game is tomorrow night, not Friday night. We will have it on our sister station, 990 AM KSVP in Artesia. It's FM translator 93.7 FM. There will be video of the broadcast as well at ksvptv.com. Joby, and then we're heading to Santee tomorrow for that. It's actually kind of neat because they're sending a camera and all that, and then they're going to create a private video feed for us that Jeffrey's going to put out to everybody else.
Private dancer, dancer for
We're trying something a little different on that one for logistics.
KSVTV.com.
Yeah, but of course, Roswell and Goddard will both be in action Friday night. We will have both those games for you as Goddard travels to Deming, I believe. We'll have that game for you in video, ksvptv.com. And then, of course, the Coyotes are here at home Friday night. We'll have that for you right here on 106.5. And then, of course, ksvptv.com.
Yes, sir.
Last minute reminder, today is Senior Day out at the Eastern New Mexico State Fair from 3 to 6 this afternoon or this evening, depending on how you look at that.
55 and up.
Yeah, 55 and up for seniors. Get in free from 3 to 6 p.m. They will, the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico are sponsors for this year's Senior Day. Big thank you to them and the New Mexico Military Institute. They provided the golf carts, which will be available for you from 3 to 6 if you need a ride to the education building where all of the Senior Day stuff is going to be happening there. But as I've been mentioned throughout the show, it's 3 to 6. Education building, everything will be open at 3 as well as livestock shows. However, the rides, the commercial building, the concerts, all that stuff, concerts a little later, but entertainment and everything starts gearing up about 4 o'clock. So get there early. You can go hit the education building. It's Amy over at the Historical Society. So anytime Amy's involved, there's swag.
Oh, absolutely.
Tons of it. So get your swag, get you some stuff, all kinds of free things, and then enjoy the fair after that.
Yeah, dollar ride night also.
Absolutely. So, yeah.
Bring your dollars.
Yeah, so lots of entertainment, lots of fun happening, and the weather is pretty nice.
It is. It's actually held up quite nicely. It was cool this morning. Very cool.
Yeah. And
downright cold yesterday at the fair, like because with the cold wind blowing through. We were questioning outfit choices until right about like 11:30, and then the wind stopped. We're like, now it's hot again. Why can't it just be nice?
It's just the way it is. And then, about 7 o'clock, you're like, ooh, I need that sweater again.
Dress in layers, do the New Mexico thing.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Or just say you did go, I got a minute. I say you did go ill-prepared clothing-wise. Go eat hot foods.
Yeah, hot foods. Find a tauntaun.
Yeah.
A dead tauntaun on the side of the road. Cut it open. I thought these things smelled bad on the outside. And then crawl in for warmth. It's nice.
And then when we're done, we'll put you in a pool of water and hook some stuff up to you to get you right.
There you go.
I'm waiting for that medical technology.
Yeah.
Where they put you in that big submergent water to heal you. I've seen it in like Dune movies and Star Wars.
They tried to implement the technology. What ended up happening was people just started predicting future crimes.
People start throwing pennies in there.
They started predicting future crimes. Tom Cruise comes in and starts playing with the wall like this.
And then the fish start nibbling on your bits. It's just the thing. I'm going to leave you that visual as we end the show here today.
There you go.
Have an amazing day. We'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Thanks for allowing us to be a part. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
It's the minnows that'll get you.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.